Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
That's a Free Phone Friday in the wrath of neoKHANs. As predicted, the Israelis would do everything in their power to scuttle the peace deal, and so they have. I'll tell you all about it. It's Mike Church Show Live, asking the question of the day.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you.
0.0.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Friday. It's Free Phone.
It's Free Phone. Yes, it is. The infamous Free Phone Friday. They are charged with the task of telling us what it is we shall talk about on the program. Choose from the smorgasbord of topics covered this week here on the program. I have a great one that I didn't get to yesterday, but I'm going to work it into the broadcast calendar today. Call-in line telephone number 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. Email me directly. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. Crusader Mike Church Show Stadium chat room open at crusadechannel.com/chat. Even though today's thumbnail says it's the wrath of Khan or neoKHANs, today it's actually the wrath of this hideous whatever this thing is that is in my sinuses. I thought I had it whipped yesterday, and he got up this morning, and here I am talking like the frog again. So bear with us with the scratchy voice and all. Welcoming all of you listening out on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. We are your home for the 2026 Wendy Pound of Gold Sweepstakes. Your chance to win my Troy Pound of Gold. That's 12 beautiful, shiny, 24-karat American Eagle gold coins. Get your ticket now. You can't play the game. You can't compete to be the affiliate leader if you don't have a ticket. So get started right now at winapoundofgold.com. Get your ticket, become an affiliate, and then share your affiliate link with all your friends, families, and enemies. winapoundofgold.com. Well, I'm just reading from the headline that somebody sent me just moments ago. Breaking! Iran has suspended its entire 60-day negotiation period with the U.S. over the direct violation of the MOU's first clause. With Israeli attacks on southern Lebanon constituting a breach less than 24 hours after the MOU was electronically signed, per Fars and Al Mayadeen news services, Iran's negotiating delegation had already been preparing to depart for Switzerland to launch the first round of talks before Iran made the decision to suspend the entire trip. Iran will also not unilaterally fulfill its commitments, and until Iran is fully assured Israeli attacks on Lebanon have stopped and the U.S. has practically adhered to the first clause obligation, talks remain closed. So, exactly as was predicted on yesterday's program, the Israelis have pulled out all the stops and have decided that they are not going to allow a peace deal with the Iranians to go forward. And so I told you yesterday that to be prepared for the entire thing to be called off. And that Netanyahu and the boys being egged on by that Levite lightning bug, Ben Shapiro, and Mark, get out the phone, you big dope, Mark Levin, and the rest of the Decepticons, neoKHANs at FAUX Fake Fox News. And Ted Cruz, I want you to listen to me. I'm the most conservative member of the United States Senate there has ever been. No one's ever been on a stage more conservative than me. You know, Ted Cruz, they stuck microphones under his nose as he was walking out of some meeting yesterday. And he was like, I don't like it. I don't like the deal the president has made, and I don't think he has the authority. I think he has to come to us. I think he has to come to the hallowed halls of the United States Senate. And then he's got to we have to treat this as a treaty. So I'm not happy about this deal. They're not happy about people in Lebanon being killed. You know, I saw yesterday, at first I didn't believe it, but then I looked it up and it was actually true. Inigo Montoya. I am Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Remember the great line from The Princess Bride? Inigo Montoya, whose real name is Mandy Patinkin. Mandy Patinkin, yesterday, or within the last week or so, not sure the exact date, is in an interview, and he was asked about, well, what do you think about, you're a Jew, what do you think about what is happening between...
How could it be done to you?
Between the Israelis and what they have done to the Palestinians and to Gaza. And Mandy Patinkin, I have actually said this, that all of these neoKHAN, Decepticon, Wrath of Khan neoKHANs running around the U.S. pretending to represent all Jews. We actually did an entire monologue on this about representing all Jews. And that, well, the Israelis and the neoKHANs, the Decepticons, and the fake Christian Zionists here in the U.S. and the secular Zionists in Israel, that's not the world's Jewish population. There are Jews everywhere. They don't represent all Jews. You know this hegemony, this idea that because Israel says it or the government of Israel says it, well, then it is the opinion of all those who fall under the banner of being a Semite. And as we have also discussed on this show, Arabians are Semites. They are descended from Shem, Noah's son. And I'm not going to get into the whole thing because I'm sure most of you know it. You're tired of hearing it. But the audacity of American Decepticons and neoKHANs to claim that what comes out of the government of Israel is representative of every Jew alive is offensive. It's preposterous. Now, it's deadly. So, Maggie, can you listen to that clip from Mandy Patinkin? I think he drops an F-bomb.
Where is it?
It's on my Twitter under replies. But he basically just, the Inigo Montoya, my name is Inigo Montoya, basically represents the view of what I just said. How dare you claim to represent all Jews? I am a Jew and you do not represent me. And you have now done to the people of Gaza what was done to us. And you have the unmitigated gall to actually to repeat the atrocities that were committed against us in the 1940s, 30s, and 40s. And so Patinkin loses it and he basically calls for the head of Netanyahu on the proverbial silver platter and for the entirety of the government of Israel to be brought up on war crimes charges. And then he says, you look what you have done. The entire planet hates us now, all of us, because of you. And I think that this is a prevailing point of view, as J. Arthur Bloom said on the show yesterday from Arthuriana. And as J. Arthur said, that there are the prevailing view amongst most secular American Jews can be found right here on the Mike Church Show. They don't agree with this. They're offended. They're outraged that they are being thrown into the cauldron, if you will, of what Decepticons and fake Christian Zionists, I'd say fake Christian, fake-Christian, and then Zionist, fake Christian Zionist claim that represents all of Judaism. We're all Jews. Does he curse?
He does not, but it has a horrible music background.
It has a terrible music background. I think we can suffer through it. I think that Patinkin's view of what is going on is pretty much the American, your average American secular Jews point of view, and I think people ought to hear it. So you can play it whenever you're ready. Here, listen.
How could it be done to you and your ancestors, and you turn around and you do it to someone else? And I ask Jews all over the world to consider what this man, Benjamin Netanyahu, and his right-wing government is doing to the Jewish people all over the world. To allow this to happen to children and civilians of all ages in Gaza, for whatever reason, is unconscionable and unthinkable. And I ask you Jews everywhere all over the world to spend some time alone and think, is this acceptable and sustainable? How could it be done to you and your ancestors, and you turn around and you do it to someone else.
Why don't you tell us what you really think? I think that that is the point of view of most American Jews. And that little Ben Shapiro and the wrath of the neoKHANs is not representative of the of your average American Jew. Here's a headline from the Epic Times. White House delays Vance's trip to Switzerland for Iran talks. The White House said logistics of the talks with Iran have never been simple or predictable, suggesting the plans remain fluid. The White House said on Thursday that Vice President J.D. Vance will not travel to Switzerland on Friday for talks with Iran. During a press briefing on June 18th, Vance said technical talks on a long-term deal with Iran were expected to begin this weekend, but that the timing could change depending on when the Iranians are able to attend. A White House spokesperson later said in a statement that the talk had been postponed. You know, I'm just blousing around looking at the headlines to see if there is anything else to be gleaned by this. I wonder what it sounded like in the Oval Office or wherever Trump was when he was told that the Israelis had begun bombing the Lebanese again. By the way, for those of you that are on the side of this insane, unconstitutional, immoral, unjust war that was begun by Trump and the Israelis and the American neoKHAN Decepticons, you do know that the area that the Israelis are targeting in southern Lebanon is Tyre. Tyre. Tyre is in St. Matthew's Gospel. It's where Christ walked and healed that woman's daughter. Tyre is mentioned in the Acts of the Apostles. It is literally the Holy Land with a capital H and a capital L. That's what they're bombing. This in spite of the Catholic Archbishop, the Greek or the Orthodox Patriarch, and the Maronites. I think it's a patriarch for the Maronites, pleading with Earth to implore the Israeli government, the IDF, and Mossad and Netanyahu to stop the bombing in Lebanon. And yeah, here we go again. There's a picture of it because people like him pictures on zerohedge.com. I was just looking at it and just thinking of what Trump said, that it's not necessary. I wonder if I just wonder how this is playing out in the mind of Don John of Mar-a-Lago. He even said, was it yesterday or Wednesday when he said something that when he said,
It was at the G7.
the G, you don't have to take it just because a missile gets launched by what you think by Hezbollah and it lands in the middle of nowhere does not give you then the right to take down a whole entire tall building. The thing, I don't understand. The two are, it's wrong, and it needs to stop. Well, Mr. President, it hasn't stopped. You know what? Let's see what the rest of the world thinks about this as we get underway here on a free phone Friday. I'm just looking at oil prices today. Largely unchanged from yesterday. West Texas WTI crude $75.88, Brent crude $79.83. I wonder if they have this factored in. We will talk more about this as the program unfolds in front of your very ears today. Tulsi Gabbard yesterday released documents alleging that Emperor Fauci had a role in the Wuhan lab research that was ultimately leaked out and believed to have caused the Corona doom. She released documents exposing Fauci's alleged role in directing U.S. funding for dangerous gain-of-function research. Anthony Fauci uses the term doctor, and he should use it in air finger quotation marks. If he's a doctor, then the guy down the street that is carving up a quarter of beef for my Sunday steak is also a doctor.
We don't know where D.B. Cooper or Cocaine Bear hid their money, but we do know there's a pound of gold in Mike Church's studio, and all you have to do to win is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on The Mike Church Show at MikeChurchShow.com and on YouTube at Real KingDude.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, it's been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to MikeChurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's MikeChurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's MikeChurch.com/dude.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When the Trump administration began, an ounce of gold cost $2,750. At the 17-month mark, with his Iran war and MAGA inflation, it's at $4,500. Now, we don't know where the $1,750 price difference went, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And even if you're a neoKHAN in MAGA clothing, you can still win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Reposting Laura Loomer lies forgiven. Pardons sold separately.
In 1983, ZZ Top made the song and it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a sharp-dressed man. And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Okay, let's go to the Golden True Ticket Dude winner hotline. Caller number 6. Who dis?
BD Gear.
BD Gear.
You make me famous.
I think this is the first time you've ever won something. We have a virgin here.
I'm really ecstatic.
This is his first time. This is absolutely incredible. He's not a usual suspect. I can't pick him out of a lineup.
Kinda usual. The Rodney Dangerfield of the chat room.
Well, I tell you, I'm the Rodney Dangerfield of the media world. I tell you, I don't get no respect. I tell you, I never seen dead people chat. Okay.
Hey, Rodney.
What is the secret code word of the day?
And what's the secret code word? Say buck.
What will you do with the gold? The gold if you were to win.
Oh, I'll probably sell a few and pay off debt and stash the rest.
Okay, BD, thank you very much for playing the game. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work.
All right, your chance to win my gold comes tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. when I play the secret soundbite of the day. You know the drill. Call back when you hear it played back and be the right number caller, and you win a Golden Truth ticket and a shot at $52,000 worth of 24-karat gold here on the 2026 Golden Truth Ticket here on the 2026 Golden Truth Ticket Sweepstakes.
You want your meat like you want your talk radio, shaken.
Too many free radicals, that's your problem. Too much red meat, too many dry martinis.
Not stirred.
Then I shall cut out the white bread.
The King Dude is serving up heaping helpings of 100% US RWD, white anger red meat talk. Who's hungry?
Moving forwards, using all my breath. Making love to you was never second best. I saw the world crashing all around your face. Never really knowing it was always mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you and I won't do.
Welcome back. The longest running long form continual radio TV talk program on air anywhere in the world. The Mike Church Show, 35 years young. Now serving dude number 149. Reminds me, when am I going to get the pleasure and honor of benighting another dude? Is there no one, are there no real men left out there that are not dudes and have yet to claim their dude number? What in the wide world of sports is going on? Get yours today. You know, dude numbers go all the way back to 2001. Dude number one, yours truly, was called this by a listener in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2001. The t-shirt appeared in 2007. By the time we left Sirius XM in 2015, there were over 8,800 proud members of the Red, White, and Dude Nation. Is this you? It should be. Go to MikeChurch.com/dude for all the details. I'm just scanning around, looking to see if there is anything else that is coming out about what the Israelis have done to the Lebanese, and whether or not. So Maggie, keep an eye on Trump's Truth Social, whether or not the Trump administration is going to do anything about this. There's an article at the American Conservative today, at theamericanconservative.com. Securing peace with Iran compels Trump to divorce Israel. Israel's goals of territorial expansion conflict with the goals of the U.S. president. I think it becomes more and more apparent that what I said on yesterday's program is true. And that is that the Israelis and the neoKHANs and the Zionists, the arch-Zionist wackos here in the United States, served up this hero, Trump going down in history as this heroic figure that gave that teamed up with the Israelis to liberate the tyrannized Iranian people, who would then, they told me they were going to be Trump tattoos of breasts on women's breasts in Iran. I was going to get all kind of tattoos. The women were going to tattoo me all over their bodies. They were going to be so loved. And that he actually, because in his egomaniacal mind, it sounded like something that was right up his alley. And he could put another statue next to the one at Doral Country Club in Florida. And he fell for it. And he did the bidding. I think he was inclined to do it anyway. But I think that's how they sold it to him. And when he is now seeing that there aren't going to be very many statues built of him here in the United States, sans a major course correction. I think actual news and opinion polls and his popularity, which is at the lowest ebb of any president in the history of Gallup asking the question. Started to get to him. He cracked. Speaking of unpopular presidents, I sat here yesterday and I did Mortal Kombat with AIs and Pride Book. I'll tell you the whole story next hour. For 9 hours, I was locked in digital combat with a non-entity being. That's not a being. And I'm not sure that I actually won the day. I think I might have, but jury's still out. At around 11 a.m. yesterday, CNN cut to a live shot of the Obama giant pimple in the sky. What is that thing? What it could be a zit. I don't even want to imagine what the person or the architects that designed that thing, of what they thought they were designing. It's hideous. It literally looks like something that the Aztecs would have erected to Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl was the demigod, the demon, that they prayed to for rain and for blessing on their crops and stuff, and were willing to sacrifice babies to it and live humans to cut it's in Mel Gibson's movie, the Apocalypto. You see the scene on the top of the pyramid where the high priest takes the dagger and saws that man open and then cuts his beating heart out and holds it up to the adoring, cheering crowd. That really happened. And I think that this is what Obama has built here, is a temple to some demon that has yet to be named. At least the Aztecs named, at least that demon gave the Aztecs a name, Quetzalcoatl. I don't know what Obama's is going to be called, but in any event, it's hideous. Oh, it's horrible. It's hideous. It's ugly. All of the usual suspects were there. I mean, all of them. There was even a shot where they showed Obama sitting with Michelle, Big Mike, Iron Mike next to him. And in the row behind him were the Clintons. And you could see Hillary sitting to Bill's right. And I don't know what they were talking about, but Clinton was having himself a hell of a time. Because whatever he was telling Hillary was laughing about it, and so was he. It was, I'll tell you something about old Iron Pants. I tell you, I never really liked this Obama fella. Now here we are pretending like we're all just buddies up in here, and me and Hillary are here to see the kickoff of the new Obama museum. That's really not even a museum. It's not a museum. They got Bonehead from U2 to play. I forget who else. There's a couple of, quote, musical acts, close quote, that played. And then Obama got up there and gave a speech. And I listened to a part of it. Oh, my Lord. If you think Trump has an ego, listen to that speech. You won't make it through most of it. You only make it to about 30 seconds of saying, okay, that's it, I'm going to plug it. I'm out. Obama has a very high opinion of himself and of what was supposedly accomplished during his 8-year reign of Manchurian candidate terror over the people of these United States. And they're all raving about this building. I'm going, are you looking at the same building that I'm looking at? Maggie, do you have a picture of it? Look at the building behind me. Look at this building over my shoulder. Now, that's a beautiful piece of architecture. That is St. Louis Cathedral in Nolens at the far end of Jackson Square. That's a beautiful piece of architecture. And there is the Obama Presidential Center.
It's horrible.
I mean, what are on those tiles?
It's words.
At the top. Those are words?
They're words.
Is it some kind of Maya Angelou fake poetry garbage? I imagine that's what it is. You know what? Hey, we are your home for the 2026 Win a Pound of Gold sweepstakes. Your chance to win my Troy Pound of Gold. So we do this every day now until July the 1st. We'll do this. Here is your Golden Truth Ticket soundbite of the day. So hear this now, and then Maggie will give you the number, which caller to be. And when you hear this soundbite played back later today, I could play it in this hour. Then be the appropriate number caller, and I will give you a free Golden Truth Ticket. That's $50. Who out there in podcast in podcast media gives anything away, much less the shot to win $52,000 in gold?
We stole the gold.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Okay, the first part you knew about. The part of the plan you didn't know about. While we recruited Harry in Brussels, Magnus dipped hundreds of iron bars in gold paint, which we sent on our own crates via SkySuite's cargo. On the plane, while we were distracting the guys up top, Magnus waited until the plane was on approach. He swapped the crates, and he just had to guide the real gold out the door.
And Luke?
He was never out. He just had a different gig. And all he had to do was guide it in for a safe landing.
So what did Huxley end up with?
Homeboy? You got nothing.
And that is from the Netflix movie called Lift. That's Kevin Hart. All right, Maggie, spin the wheel. Be caller number 5 today. And if you know the secret password of the day, every person that has won a Golden Truth Ticket thus far has known the Mike Church Show daily. What do you know that I don't know? The daily password, the Easter egg that is hidden in the daily highlight reel video from the Mike Church Show, which you can get on our YouTube channel. You should go and subscribe right now. That way you'll get notified when it's posted. And then you can, it's a short video. You can watch the video and then find the Easter egg. And if you're the appropriate number caller, today is caller number 5, then you give me that password, you give it to Maggie, then you get not one but 2. 2 is like a double mint, juicy mint commercial. You get 2 Golden Truth Tickets. That's $100. But you don't have to wait until then, because you can add to your stockpile of Golden Truth Tickets by getting all of your tickets today, right now, at winapoundofgold.com. Winapoundofgold.com. Become an affiliate, and then that sets you up. So you send your affiliate link out, your unique affiliate link out to everyone that you know. And if anyone buys a ticket, it gets credited to you, and we're having a contest within a contest. The person, the affiliate that sells the most amount of tickets gets, well, first of all, you'll get bumped up to 20% in commissions. Second of all, you get the choice, when you receive the trophy of being the grand champion of all grand champion affiliates, you'll get the choice of taking your loot, your booty, in Golden Truth Tickets, which is how everyone else will get them, or in cold hard cash. You want the cash? Cash out, baby, and take it. But you can't get either if you don't have a ticket. So get your ticket right now, or tickets at winapoundofgold.com. And time is running out. So two weeks from today, or from yesterday, will be the drawing on July 2nd. Winapoundofgold.com. I had this story 2 days ago. And now a lot of other people had picked up on it. I didn't believe it at first. You won't believe how gay California is so desperate to go down in history as the new Sodom and Gomorrah that they have done this. Inside California's gay certification program, the state is pressuring utilities to award $633 million in contracts to LGBTQ businesses. How much is that? $633 million. You literally have to prove that you are a practicing sodomite to get a state contract in California now. Americans are used to handouts to for favored groups, affirmative action and university admissions, the usual stuff, corporate diversity initiatives, and minority-owned contracting requirements, direct opportunities, resources, and contracts to supposedly oppressed groups, such as women, Native Americans, blacks, and Hispanics, the usual R, S, T, L, N, and E of those who are supposedly oppressed by evil white guys like me. But in California, state Democrats have embraced another kind of favoritism. Contracts for state-certified, homo-owned businesses. Now, stop right there. Inquiring minds want to know, well, how does one become a certified gay business?
I had audio from yesterday about it. A news story, I think.
Well, can you pull it up from yesterday? Because we had an audio file from this too. The scheme operates through the California Public Utilities Commission, which regulates privately owned utility companies. Now, how is that you're a privately owned utility company, but you have a state-operated entity that regulates you? Well, what's the point of being private at that point? Why don't you say, well, hey, make me public. Guarantee my income, which is basically what a public utility is. It's guaranteed income. Guarantee my income and let's be done with it. We'll stop with this profit game. So here's an explanation.
California wants more diversity in its utility contracts, but in order to secure the work, you have to prove it. And this was first reported by the City Journal. Businesses seeking LGBT certification are asked to verify their status to prove they are gay. Okay, so women-owned businesses or minority-owned businesses, they want to give more business and contracts to LGBT businesses. But how do you prove that? Well, a checklist could include any of the following: a letter from an LGBT organization attesting to their sexual preferences. This is my favorite one. Proof that a newspaper identified you as LGBT. What, some newspaper somewhere? Does a weekly count? Said somebody's gay? That's good enough? Or you can get 3 letters from personal contacts to attest that you are gay enough for a contract in California. Joining me now for a reality check is host of Kennedy Saves.
So you get a letter from someone stating that, oh yeah, I certify that Dr. Vinny Boom Botts men in the...
That's basically it, bro.
So now the state of California is basically now requiring sodomy be committed in order to be awarded a state utility contract. I don't even think that the evil men of Sodom and Gomorrah went that far, although they didn't know that they were talking to an angel. When the angel goes and visits Lot and tells Lot, dude, you're the only just man here. God has sent me here to tell you that he's going to destroy the city. And Lot said, no, don't do it. What if I can find 100 just men who aren't homos in the city? And then, hey, man, go ahead, try it. God comes back in and they say, okay, we're going to destroy the city now. And Lot says, no. What if I can find 10? I think he was talking about California, actually. And God says, all right, man, go ahead, Lot. See if you can find 10. Lot looks around, can't find 10. And God comes back and he goes, okay, this time I'm really going to do it. I'm sending the angel who's going to give you and your wife and your children safe passage out of Sodom. So you must now leave. And as Lot's packing up, what happens? The homo townspeople show up. The public utility workers from California show up. And they knock on Lot's door. And Lot answers the door and it's, with the angel, who looks like a human, and they don't recognize it as an angel. And it says, hey, give us, you need to come, you need to subject yourself to what we do here in Sodom and Gomorrah. And Lot goes, no, man, no, that's not my bag. And then the townspeople say, well, then give us your daughters, and we'll have our way with your daughters. And then the angel tells the men that, no, you're not getting him or the daughters. And then, of course, Lot leaves, and his wife turns back and looks and turns into a pillar of salt. You know the rest of the story. Sounds to me like California is actually literally trying to become, you know, there was a city, there was a town in the Caribbean. I did an entire monologue on this about 5 years ago. Saint-Pierre, St. Peter, on the island of Martinique. And it was known as what? The Sodom and Gomorrah of the Caribbean. Well, God didn't fancy that very much, and he told the Catholic priest who ran the church on the island, you need to leave. And basically, he was given a warning, you need to leave. What happened next? There were actually ships that were in the harbor of Saint-Pierre that wrote eyewitness accounts of a completely dead, dormant volcano that Saint-Pierre was built at the base of. As a matter of fact, the people that lived there, that had settled there, didn't even know it was a volcano. You know why? Because it hadn't erupted in anyone's lifetime. What happened? The volcano erupted, and it was like Pompeii. You know that Pompeii was wiped from the face of the earth by God because of the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah. This was a chastisement for what they were doing in Pompeii, which was basically organized and legalized pederasty. Just complete and absolute revolting acts of perversions that were happening in Pompeii. God went, no. You're done. Sounds to me like the state of California wants God to see if he can do it to them. Maybe he will. Mark, ow!
The Crusade Channel, talk radio the way it should be. Broadcasting live from Madisonville, Louisiana, and streaming 24/7 at crusadechannel.com. When you get home to a darkened house, you turn on the lights. When you go out into the fallen, darkened world that most of America has become, turn on the Mike Church Show.
Hey folks, Mike Church here.
And let the red, white, and Dude Nation light the way for you.
Hey, we guarantee it works a lot better than that little Levite lightning bug, Ben Shapiro.
I've sentenced boys younger than you to the gas chamber.
Hop into your guilt-free ride into MAGA-con-free conservatism.
On the Mike Church Show.
Membership has its privileges.
American Express was right back in the 1970s. Membership has its privileges. And no membership privilege is greater to a Red, White, and Dude Nation listener than membership in the elite membership club that is the Dude Number. Here's Lee to tell you how to get yours.
That's right, King Dude. Membership does have its privileges. And when it comes to the Dude Number, applying for membership has never been easier. Just head to mikechurch.com/dude to start the membership process. Your unique and one-of-a-kind membership and all the privileges that come with it awaits you. As a member, you'll enjoy private chat groups, VIP privileges to all Mike Church Show events, early access to new Dude-geared store items, and of course, your unique Dude Number.
Dude 1210 reporting all quiet on the Eastern Front.
This is Mike's favorite punching bag, Dude number 13.
Hi, this is Steve. My Dude number is 2112.
Dude number 2004, proud member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation reporting for duty.
Become a part of something bigger than any talk show there is and apply for your Dude Number today at mikechurch.com/dude.
Membership has its privileges.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When making Raiders, Spielberg chose the Golden Ark of the Covenant because he knew audiences wouldn't go, ooh, ah, if Nazis stole a parchment scroll containing a psalm. Now, we don't know where the lost Ark is, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd, and you don't have to say, ooh, ah, to win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Ark of the Covenant sold separately.
Hi folks, it's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence.
The name of this confederacy shall henceforth be the United Colonies of North America. The said United Colonies hereby severally enter into a firm league of friendship with each other, binding on themselves and their posterity for their common defense against...
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723. Hey folks, Mike Church here. You know, when I was a little cheerins, I remember loving the old Dunkin' Donuts TV spot. You know, the one with the guy who got up at 3 a.m. mumbling to himself as he went out the door and then back in his front door.
Time to make the donut.
Well, fast forward 46 years, and now I'm the guy waking up at 3 a.m., mumbling to myself as I go in the studio door, then back out. Time to make the radio. I made the radio. I made the radio. But I have a secret weapon the Dunkin' Donut dude didn't have. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast coffee in whole bean or ground. Our fresh, aromatic, gourmet coffee is made from 100% fair trade beans, freshly imported, roasted by my friend Kyle and his daughter at the Abita Roasting Company, then delivered to you so fresh your kitchen will smell like a barista shop. Good. So, whenever you arise to take on the day and listen to the Mike Church Show, do it the Red, White, and Dude Nation way by brewing up a fresh pot of Capuchin Holy Roast or my all-new Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans blend coffee and chicory at shop.mikechurch.com. Okay, let's go to the Golden Truth Ticket Winner Maker Hotline for caller number 4. Who is this?
This is Mrs. Dude number 2112.
I never would have guessed in a billion years. Well, you are the now proud owner of not one, but 2 Golden Truth tickets because you knew the secret code word of the day. So, what are you and Captain Rush going to do with the gold when you win it?
Well, it's not going into the bank, it's going into the safe. And it's going to stay there for a long time. We might share it with our family.
Tracy Staller said he was going to bury his under the greenhouse. Well, since you have a greenhouse, then you could be the second person. No, I'm going to bury it. It's going to become like the treasure of the Sierra Madre. I'm going to make my kids a map and make them come and actually solve the puzzle to find it.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, I like that. I'm going to have to keep that one in the background.
Well, thank you for listening, Jacqueline, and for, Mrs. Dude number 2112, and for playing the game. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hey, folks, you too can win the next Golden Truth ticket that we're going to give away, but you've got to be listening tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. when I play the soundbite of the day. Listen for it, play it back later in the day. Get that super secret password from the Mike Church Show Daily Highlight Reel video, and you can win 2 Golden Truth tickets, but you don't have to wait for that. Go and buy your tickets today at winapoundofgold.com. One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, it's been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to mikechurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's mikechurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's mikechurch.com/dude.
Most Crusade Channel wannabes only get the mission half right.
Men, you are about to embark on a great crusade to stamp out runaway decency in the West.
So why settle for half-baked radio hacks crusading in mono when you can get the real deal on the Mike Church Show?
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well.
In stereo. The Mike Church Show's Great Crusade is on the Veritas Radio Network's Crusade.
Hey guys, you got a minute?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It's about my dad. He wants to have a sex change operation.
Whoa, I knew he was gay. I didn't think he was that gay.
No, Peter, he's not gay. He's a woman stuck in a man's body.
Yeah, gay.
It's totally different.
Sounds the same.
Well, it's not.
Okay, so he wants to be a woman so he can be a lesbian?
No, he'd date men.
Gay.
Yeah, gay.
Okay, this is not the help I came over here for.
Well, look, let's just all agree that he's odd, huh?
He has an appointment Friday with Dr. Hartman to have the procedure, and he wants me to go with him. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, I'm sure your friend Peter would be happy to come along for moral support.
All right, but look, here's the deal. Anything he lops off, we get to bring home for Brian.
That's very green of you, Peter.
Let's do it! You gotta beat the clock, you gotta beat the clock.
You can boogie, love disco, love that disco sound. Move up your body, spinning round and round. But don't forget, oh no. Don't forget,
sugar. Honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you.
The radio equivalent of the last blockbuster movie rental store. The Mike Church Show stands in defiance of the demonic world of digital streaming boredom. And here to offer 3 hours of unscripted teleprompter free live talk and TV performance here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. A free phone Friday. You never know what to look at the phone lines. 844-527-8723. The number to call is 844-527-8723. This portion of the program brought to you by the Founders Trading, the Dude Gear Store at shop.mikechurch.com, and Capuchin Holy Roast Coffee in New Orleans, blend coffee and chicory, and in our blended Capuchin Holy Roast. There's no finer blend of coffee anywhere in the world. Plus, we have 6 varieties of small batch hand-roasted coffee from the brothers that the Our Lady of Guadalupe Monastery in Silver City, New Mexico, under the banner of Abbey Roast. So our coffee is as fresh as you can get it. And today I am drinking, actually, Roma from the brothers at the Abbey Roast. Get you a bag of Roma and a Mike Church Show mug. This is not a Crowder mug. This one is actually made by the Mountain Arts Pottery Company in Helena, Montana. Custom made just for us. All at the same store, shop.mikechurch.com. Don't forget the cigars, the t-shirts, the Dude Number shirt, the 35th anniversary shirt, your Rue paddle. Maggie O'Connell told me yesterday my task for the weekend is I must make a video of how to make roux. That way people will go like, oh, that's what you use a roux spoon for. Yeah, that's what you use a roux spoon for. Get you one in the Louisiana merch department at shop.mikechurch.com. It's an interesting little tidbit. So one of our longtime crusaders and dear friend of ours, Rusty Lamont, is retiring from his gig as a oil field pipe salesman. So he's been at this game for a long time, and his retirement party is tomorrow. I'm like, what is this retirement that you speak of? So he and I are having a conversation about what to bring to drink tomorrow, and he says, while you're out shopping for bourbons, notice what is now on the shelf. And then he told me what was on the shelf, and I can actually bear witness to this because I've seen it myself. The other day, a store that we shop at for a lot of our groceries they have like a customer service window that's behind the glass. Keep all the fancy, expensive liquors if they have any, and the cigarettes and all that behind the glass. And you got to go to the window and ring the bell, and then it'll come out. So I walked into the store, and I saw Colonel E.F. Taylor bourbon in the very recognizable, very tall, brown, like a brown paper wrapper cylinder that they ship it in with the large black print and the giant yellow crest. It says E.H. Taylor on it. And I saw it, and then he had like 10 of them. Well, I haven't seen a bottle of E.H. Taylor in, 5 years maybe. Not one that was out on an actual shelf or that was on display, because you can't get it anymore. I mean, you used to be able to get it like 10 years ago. You walk in and buy it for $30 a bottle. Now, if you can find it, it's $80. So I saw the E.H. Taylor sitting there, and I went, oh, wait a minute. So there was a young man who was working the customer service counter, and I went to the window and I went, "Hey, man, what are you getting for the H. Taylor?" And he goes, $54.95 a bottle. And I went, give me one. I said, scan that and make sure that that's the actual price. So he goes and gets a bottle and he scans it with his UPC scanner. He goes, "Yep, $54.95 a bottle." I might give it to me. I was like a kid that just saw a piece of rock candy in the right color that I hadn't seen in forever, with watermelon flavor. I want to give it to me. The other day at the Piggly Wiggly, Travis had a couple of bottles of Blanton's for sale.
Did you get them?
I did not. He still had it behind the counter because they still want like $110 a bottle. I'm not giving you $110 a bottle for a bottle of Blanton's. It's not going to happen. But my point is that bourbons, the rare ones, like Calumet Farms, 15-year aged, are now appearing on store shelves in quantity, and you can buy it. You can buy them for the first time in like a decade for some, or 5 years for some of the other ones. Well, what's going on here? What in the wide world of sports is going on here? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Little Nick Fuentes listening soy boy homos are drinking seltzer vodka. What was that awful drink that the kids were all, that the young people were all drinking 20 years ago? Zima. Ugh. Anybody ever have a Zima? You remember Zima?
Yeah.
Ugh.
This is the Zima's Jolly Rancher generation right here.
That's right. They made a Jolly Rancher Zima.
You put the Jolly Ranchers in the
Oh, you put the Jolly Rancher in the Zima, right?
It tastes like
So it would taste like a Jolly Rancher, right? Well, apparently the soy boys, the little boys that are so gay, young people, young men out there. Oh, they get bourbon is like so strong and stuff. Oh, nasty! Like give me with a spoon and stuff. So they're not buying it. But 10 years ago, during the bourbon boom, the distilleries in Kentucky couldn't make the stuff fast enough. And so what did they do? Well, they did what all Americans do. You increase production to equal demand. But they didn't count on a glut in consumption or a decrease in consumption. And that is what has actually happened. The last time I saw, I think it was Gallup that asked the question, it was down 15% from 3 years ago. So I was blousing around looking for an explanation. In any event, Rusty suggested, he goes, I tell you what you want to do. You want to do a show about this, and you want to talk about it. I've been seeing Blanton's, Eagle Rare, and Colonel E.H. Taylor at many locations. There's clearly no longer a shortage, he said. They still call them allocated. Now, last time I asked about Blanton's, Travis told me, the Piggly Wiggly, he was like, I didn't get any allocation. I'm like, what? I said, what does that even mean? And he says the distributor of Blanton's, Glazer here in New Orleans, goes to all the retailers, and you basically got to fill an application out and put your name into a drawing, and they draw your name in a lottery. And if they pull your store's name, then you get an allocation of 2 bottles or something like that. So, consequently, they've been charging like 50% more for a bottle. Now that they can get it, remember the guy, the bartender at Ruin Brew told us that they had never been able to get Blanton's at Ruin Brew, and they have 2 bars there. There's a little mom and pop that we go to down the street. And he said that the liquor rep came in about a month ago and said, good news, I have your allocation of Blanton's. And the bar manager went, I didn't order any Blantons. He goes, yeah, but your name was drawn in an allocation. And trust me, you want to follow up on the allocation and take the Blantons. So they did. So what the mayor of Doosan is suggesting is that global bourbon demand is falling since the soy boys decided not to drink it, and they're drinking mocktails and lattes and this other assorted crap. I think the KingDude should start an Instagram Pride Book movement to rally all bourbon drinkers to pass on the high prices and force them to bring those prices down. I think that's a great idea. And so, as a matter of fact, I will start a bourbon club of sorts, but you could start here. WinAPoundOfGold.com. If your ticket is the third one pulled in this year's raffle on July the 2nd, the third place prize is a bourbon basket put together by yours truly. I'm going to put a bottle of Blanton's in there. I'm going to put a bottle of E.H. Taylor in there because you couldn't get it previously. I'm going to put a bottle of one of my favorite, Calumet Farms, 15-year-old. I'm going to put some mixers in there, some other stuff. That's worth the price of admission in and of itself for the $50 to go get a Golden Truth ticket right now at winapoundofgold.com. So I'm wondering about this, and so I'm blousing around and I find this. This guy calls himself Gad, Gad's newsletter. Jim Beam's year-long production pause. What's behind the bourbon slowdown? Jim Beam, one of America's most iconic bourbon makers, has announced, and this was written in January, that it will pause whiskey production for an entire year at its main Claremont, Kentucky distillery starting January the 1st, 2026. The company, owned by Beam's Suntory, a subsidiary of Japan Suntory Holdings, says the temporary shutdown will allow it to invest in site enhancements and rebalance its inventories. Translation, we got crap in our barrels we can't get rid of and we can't sell it. The maker is emphasizing that it is a pause, not a permanent closure. Jim Beam plans to keep its visitor center open and will continue limited distilling at its smaller craft facilities. At the same time, its other Kentucky distillery and bottling operations remain active. The company also indicated it's reassigning employees internally and foresees no layoffs. Reassigning employees, translation, layoffs. So what exactly is going on? Well, Professor Gadd says for the past decade, bourbon was riding high on a wave of popularity. Distillers, both big and small, rushed to ramp up production, what I just told you. In Kentucky, which produces about 95% of America's bourbon, the volume of aging whiskey skyrocketed to record levels. By late 2025, and I didn't know this until I read this, there were over 16 million barrels of bourbon aging in Kentucky warehouses. Good news for people like me. The highest total ever recorded, according to the Kentucky Distillers Association. That figure is more than triple the inventory of 15 years ago, reflecting years of industry expansion. But in a dramatic turn, and just like most booms, the bourbon boom is now hitting a wall. Whiskey sales in the U.S. have flattened and even declined recently. 2024 marked the second straight year of American whiskey sales dropping after over 20 years of growth. Americans are drinking less alcohol overall. And again, this is the soy boy phenomenon. They're out there sipping on their seltzer waters and their chai tea lattes.
Sour beers.
Or sour beers. Ugh. It's so disgusting. You know what old people like me call sour beer? What Budweiser used to call in its ads skunky beer.
It is skunky.
It's skunky beer. No, that's just the rotten stuff that you guys screwed up and you can't get rid of as regular beer. Sour beer. Shifting consumer preferences play a role. For example, tequila and mezcal have surged in popularity, recently overtaking American whiskey in U.S. sales by value. Meanwhile, ready-to-drink cocktails and hard seltzers have emerged as a new alternative capturing drinkers' attention. No, it's fat, stupid, lazy Americans that don't know how to make a darn cocktail is what's going on here. And you're too fat, stupid, and lazy digesting never-ending streams of outrage porn instead of watching videos like mine where I handcraft a cocktail that I made from scratch. My sour peach bourbon, or my peach bourbon sour that I made a couple of weeks ago. And then you have all these soys out there that are doping it up with the GPLs and all that crap, and they're being told, oh, don't drink while you're doing it now. Don't drink while you're doing Ozempic. It'll hurt your weight loss or whatever. So they are sipping on other crap, or they're chewing gummies now. Even emerging factors, says Professor Gadd, like popular weight loss drugs and legal cannabis as an alternative vice, may be dampening spirits demand. In short, the red-hot growth that bourbon enjoyed has cooled off, and a sales slowdown has set in over the last couple of years. That's an amazing thing that has happened. On the supply side, producers are now grappling with an excess of whiskey. Here, let me help you out with that. Lower the price, and I'll take that off your hands. And he says the pause comes as distillers confront a barrel glut, accompanied by hefty carrying costs for aging whiskey. So what's going to happen? You're going to have some bourbon. Some of these boutique bourbon makers are going to go out of business, is what's going to happen, or that branch is going to disappear. Which is, 20 years ago, if you were to go back and hop in the KingDude's Wayback Machine, we were happy with getting Jim Beam at 90 proof, which they knocked down to 80 because they couldn't make it fast enough. Did you know that? Maker's Mark tried that, knocking theirs down from 94 to 84, and people revolted and stopped drinking it. They had to reverse course. So you were happy and satisfied with Jim Beam or Knob Creek or Baker's or Booker's or Basil Hayden's, which was the Jim Beam small batch collection here. And then all these other these brands started appearing, like this Jefferson's Ocean crap. And it is that. It's absolute crap. I am not paying you $100 a bottle for something because you stuck it on a barge and sailed with it across the equator and back. You do know that's why they call it the ocean. In any event, I think at the end of the day, because cigars have also been in decline. So what is going on out there? Well, apparently, this generation of fathers has gone gay and has not passed on the finer manly things in life to their sons. And instead, being raised by women, they are drinking seltzer water, Zima watermelon Jolly Rancher infused crap. And I just wonder what happens to all the fine people that work at making all of these fine bourbons? What are you going to do with all of it if the demand continues to go down? Now, let me throw another monkey wrench into this. You know what else has happened? The Japanese started buying, I told this story before, about 20 years ago, the Japanese decided that they were going to ramp up their concern, or they were going to take a fancy to Scotch whiskey. And so they started buying all they could get their hands on. And the Scotch whiskey producers made the mistake of satisfying the demand, which caused a shortage of Scotch. So you used to be able to get a single malt for $30. Can't do that anymore. Now it's $60, $75, $80. I wonder if the same thing is happening in Japan. Because the Japanese, what else did they stop doing? They stopped making people. You need people to consume the Scotch. So in any event, get your ticket to win my bourbon basket at winapoundofgold.com. Next segment, we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to talk some gold here with a gentleman from Revelation Gold Group. So talk a little bit about that. Come back at Free Phone Friday. We'll roll on next here. I think I might have a bourbon during the break.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. The first gold rush wasn't in California or in Alaska. It was in Dahlonega, Georgia in 1829 and lasted until the last gold mine closed around 1910. Now, some people say that there's still gold in them there Georgia hills. We don't know about that, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and he's going to give it away to one of you on July 2nd.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Vacation sold separately.
The Crusade Channel and the Slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena with your Saint of the Day. June 18th, Saint Ephrem. He died in the year 373. Saint Ephrem the Syrian is both a father and a doctor of the Church. He was born in Mesopotamia and became a monk when he was a young boy. Through humility, he refused to become a priest and stayed a deacon all his life. He was one of the great defenders of the divinity of Jesus Christ at the Council of Nicaea in 324.
The Crusade Channel and the Slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena with your Saint of the Day. June 19th, Saint Juliana Falconieri, who died in the year 1340. She is the niece of Saint Alexis Falconieri, one of the 7 founders of the Servites of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Here is the Church's entry for her life. Juliana, of the noble family of Falconieri, was the daughter of that illustrious nobleman who founded and built the Church of Our Lady of the Annunciation, still to be seen in Florence. When she was born in the year 1270, both he and Raguarda, his wife, were already advanced in years, and up until this, quite childless. From her very cradle, Juliana gave tokens of the holiness of life to which she would afterwards attain. And from the lisping of her baby lips was caught the sweet sound of the names of Jesus and Mary. As she'd entered on her girlhood, she delivered herself up entirely to the pursuit of Christian virtues, and so excellently shone therein that her uncle, the Blessed Alexis, scrupled not to tell her mother that she had given birth to an angel rather than to a woman. So modest indeed was her countenance, and so pure her soul from the slightest speck of indiscretion, that she never in her whole life raised her eyes to a man's face, and that the very mention of sin made her shiver. And when the story of a grievous crime was told her, she dropped down fainting and almost lifeless. The report of this and other wonders procured for Juliana a reverence not only from Florence, but from all parts of the Christian world, which reverence so increased through the course of 400 years that Pope Benedict XIII commanded a proper office in her honor to be celebrated by the whole order of Servites of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And Clement XII, the munificent protector of that same order, finding new signs and wonders shedding luster upon her glory every day, inscribed the name of Juliana upon the catalogue of holy virgins. They suffered in Milan on the 19th of June. Saint Juliana Falconieri and Saints Gervase and Protes, pray for us. Thank you for joining us for this brief summary of the lives of today's saints. Tomorrow's saint is Pope Saint Silverius. To access all of our Saint of the Day recordings as podcasts, head to crusadechannel.com/saints. You can learn more about our sisters and contribute to the building of our convent by visiting stfilomenaconvent.org. I'm Sister Maria Filomena, and until next time, God bless and Mary keep you.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right. as the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines, plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
We don't know where DB Cooper or Cocaine Bear hid their money, but we do know there's a pound of gold in Mike Church's studio, and all you have to do to win is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on The Mike Church Show at MikeChurchShow.com and on YouTube at Real King Dude.
I know a little about women.
The truth is bonded on The Mike Church Show.
I do feel, Reg, that any anti-imperialist group like ours must reflect such a divergence of interest within its power base.
Agreed. Francis? Yeah, I think Judith's point of view is very valid, Reg, provided the movement never forgets that it is the unalienable right of every man or woman to rid himself or herself. Agreed. Thank you, brother. Or sister. Where was I? I think you finished. Oh, right. Furthermore, it is the birthright of every man or woman. Why don't you shut up about women, Stan? You're putting us off.
Women have a perfect right to play a part in our movement, Reg.
Why are you always on about women, Stan?
I want to be one.
What?
I want to be a woman. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta.
What?
It's my right as a man.
Well, why do you want to be Loretta, Stan?
I want to have babies.
You want to have babies?
It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them.
But you can't have babies.
Don't you oppress me.
I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb. Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box?
Here, I've got an idea. Suppose you agree that he can't actually have babies, not having a womb, which is nobody's fault, not even the Romans, but that he can have the right to have babies.
Good idea, Judith. We shall fight the oppressors for your right to have babies, brother. Sister, sorry. What's the point? What? What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies when he can't have babies? It is symbolic of our struggle against oppression.
Symbolic of his struggle against reality.
Of course, this is a Friday tradition here on a Free Phone Friday. Baby Groot dancing across the Guardians of the Galaxy fight stage to Mr. Blue Sky.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Why did you go? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so
Get out of here! Mike Church Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network on a Free Phone Friday at 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE, your home for the 2026 Win a Pound of Gold competition. Of course, a contest, a sweepstakes. You can't win a pound of gold if you don't have a ticket. So go get your tickets today at winapoundofgold.com. This portion of the program brought to you by, and this is not a coincidence, brought to you by our friends at Revelation Gold Group, who are the sponsors of the Win a Pound of Gold competition this year, or contest and raffle. So whoever it is that wins the 12 single troy-ounce American Eagle Gold coins, American Gold Group will be shipping them to you as they do. It's a very complicated process, by the way. So Leo Higazin is on our Dude Maker hotline here. They're going to talk a little bit about gold. Laith, you know what these are?
Absolutely, sir.
You know, they just sound so... I just love playing with my silver. It sounds so wonderful. Unlike a fake quarter, which is a piece of plastic with iodized zinc on top of it, that is real metal there.
I've got a whole safe of them myself. I play with them as well.
Don't tell people that. He's lying. He doesn't have any in his house. He doesn't even have a safe. No.
Not here at the residence.
It's a residence. Okay. See, that's how you get out of it.
Exactly.
You know, when I got those gold coins last year, our sponsor last year shipped them to me, and I had no idea what I was getting into. And this little tiny box arrived, and it was wrapped in brown paper. I'm like, it's an odd way to ship things. So I finally get the box, and it took me and my wife about a half an hour to get the coins out of the box. They were so stuffed in there. So there's a process to actually shipping the gold out. If you don't know, if you ever receive a package of multiple gold coins, no one will know what's inside that box. But the hard part, Laith, came in when I had to ship it to Chris Payne in Kentucky because I had no idea. I went to FedEx, they went, nope. I went to UPS, and went, nope. And so I called somebody, and he goes, you got to go to the post office. I'm like, you're kidding me. He goes, the only people that will ship it like that for a consumer is the post office. And they won't ask you what's inside of it, but you can insure it for $350,000 or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's just an interesting part of your business that most people never think about.
Absolutely. Logistics is a key part of it. We like to make sure that things arrive on time, and when things are arriving at the door, you have to sign off on it, so it's incredibly secure, and we do our due diligence.
There were 12 people that handled that box from the time it left here, and each guy that got it had to sign for it. And at the time he got it. Let's talk for a minute about gold and about your favorite subject, about gold and precious metals.
Sure.
Now, the Golden Truth Ticket Contest, we gave cars away for the first 5 years. Cars do not hold their value. Gold does hold its value. The guy that won last year, I shipped him $36,000 in change in gold. Today, his gold is worth about $51,000. That's an amazing... Why in the last year do you think gold... Because that's not inflation. Inflation was not that much. Why did gold go up so precipitously?
You know, Mike, and I'll try and keep this short, but that's a great question. I think, in my opinion, is... Well, let me paint a picture, actually. I think it's a story about trust. If you take a look at the last 50 years, if you are a central bank anywhere in the world, you put your country's savings in U.S. treasuries, the dollar. And, you know, that would be backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. I think what we saw in, I think it was 2022, might have been the year when Russia invaded Ukraine. They started the war there, and overnight, the United States froze the treasuries that Russia had. Hundreds of billions of dollars gone overnight. Every finance minister on earth looked at that and said, well, we can't let that happen to our country. And over the last couple of years, what you saw was all of the central banks around the world in record numbers were buying gold because that was something that nobody can take away from you. No one can just turn it off like a light switch. It was safe from, Washington's hands. So a lot of people started putting their faith in precious metals. So central banks were the largest buyers over the last few years. In fact, ironically enough, last year in 2025, Tether, the cryptocurrency company, was actually the largest single buyer of gold out of anybody. So That's what the world started doing. Countries like China, Poland, Turkey, and India. So we also see that the European Central Bank put out a report just a few weeks ago saying that gold has actually surpassed U.S. Treasuries as the largest single asset that the banks are holding. So I think we saw a huge increase in price because the banks are doing it. And if they're buying it, they know something that probably we don't know. There are a lot of smart people running those banks. So if they're buying it as an insurance policy on their savings, I really think everyday Americans should be considering it as an insurance policy on their savings as well.
Laith, how does a gold IRA work? I still don't understand it.
A gold IRA, it's simple. Really, a gold IRA, it's a coined term that we like to use.
Okay.
Technically, it's a self-directed IRA. That is the technical term behind the account. It operates in a lot of ways similarly to a Roth or a traditional IRA with the tax benefits and your ability to invest in it. What's great about the self-directed IRA or gold IRA is you can hold almost up to 200 different asset classes in it. Anything from land rights to water rights to equities to precious metals being one of them. You can't hold physical precious metals in your current Roth or traditional account at Fidelity. They might tell you can hold paper gold, like a gold ETF, but that's still a number on the screen at the end of the day. It's not physical precious metals. So the way a gold IRA works is we help you open one. It takes less than 10 minutes at Revelation Gold Group. We make the process super simple and easy. We help you transfer however much in funds you'd like to put in that gold IRA. So it's a quick transfer. It's just paperwork for the most part. And then you get to pick and choose what metals you'd like. And those metals will be then stored in a secure depository, and we work with a handful of them around the country. Some of the largest ones being the Texas Depository or the Wilmington, Delaware Depository. And you have an account that's also not managed by somebody year after year where they're eating away 3, 4, 5, 6%. One of the benefits of a self-directed IRA are the extremely low fees. The idea is that you're managing it. It's self-directed. You're fully in control and you've taken ownership of the account. But what's great about precious metals is there's nothing really to manage. You buy it and you hold it. That hunk of metal isn't needing maintenance. It's not growing legs and running away. You're putting it in a safe place for either, your legacy, savings, just a good place to really protect what you've got.
So just to reiterate this, because one of the things that Revelation Gold Group facilitates, if you go to their website, actually you can go to mikechurch.com/gold. The link works now. Go directly to my page, and you can inquire about this. I never heard of this before, self-directed IRA. So basically what Laith is telling you is like you can put physical gold, or if you want, you could put physical silver into your self-directed.
That's true.
Can you put rhodium in it?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I can inquire on that and let your audience know.
I told Gabriella, our mutual coworker here or whatever.
She's phenomenal. She's great
at Revelation. She's the one that she solicited me and said you should become a Revelation Gold Group partner. I said, tell me more. I told her that when we were relaunching our membership service, we used to do it by founding father levels, the Ben Franklin level of father and statesman and what have you. We decided to go with precious metals. So we did bronze, easy peasy, bronze, silver, gold. Those are that's the Wheel of Fortune, RST, LNE of metals. Well, what do you do after that? So I picked platinum for the second highest level, and then for the highest level, I'm going like, okay, well, is there a metal that is above platinum? I started doing a little research. And come to find out, I stumbled on this metal called rhodium. Rhodium, if we were to go back 200 years to the founding for the 250th anniversary of America, they didn't know what rhodium was. It hadn't been discovered. It was not an element if they had a table. Rhodium was no one could have had any rhodium. Well, they might have had some. They just didn't know that they had it. Rhodium comes from polonium. And I was just reading the story and going like, this is the most fascinating thing I've just never considered. So anyway, I picked rhodium. as a metal. And apparently it's used in all sorts of really expensive jewelry that's made with, ironically enough, gold. So if you see gold, silver things around a gold piece of jewelry, it may not be silver. If it's really expensive, it may be rhodium. And rhodium is just a phenomenal metal. So I guess I could put in my self-directed IRA, I could put some rhodium in there.
Possibly. And I just learned something new about rhodium today. So thank you, Mike. That's so fascinating.
Okay, so if you go to mikechurch.com/gold, you're going to learn all about the Revelation Gold Group and the Gold IRA or the self-directed IRA, or just buying metal, and they'll ship it to you just like anyone else. So it's a great group, and we're happy to be with them. And I want to thank Lath for stopping by. It also adds a little bit of credibility to our contest and to our raffle. It's like, no, dude, we actually have a gold company that's going to send you the gold. And we're very happy about that I don't actually physically have to touch it this time and have to go through trying to figure out how to ship it. So, Lath, thank you very much for taking a little time out. You're probably on the West Coast, so it's a little early for you.
It's a bit early, but it's absolutely my pleasure, Mike. I'm happy to do it again. And yes, we will take care of the shipment safe and secure, make it super easy. You'll experience that the entire way through as a client working with us as well. So happy to.
Okay, so Revelation Gold Group, but you can find them by going to mikechurch.com/gold. mikechurch.com/gold. All right, Lath, I'll let you get back to your busy day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Folks, I just wanted to give Revelation Gold Group a chance to introduce themselves to our listeners, because a lot of you buy gold. And I know a lot of you are buying it from Miles Franklin. You're going, what in the wide world of sports happened? Nothing happened. I was just presented with another opportunity, and we talked about it, and we took it. That's all that happened. So it's mikechurch.com/gold. You know, we have some great digital media files to get to here today. J.D. Vance might have redeemed himself. What do you hear? By the way, the price of gold is down today. Now, why is that? Because people think stability is coming to the Strait of Hormuz. But none of the Israelis have anything to do about it. So if you go to winapoundofgold.com, what's the number, Maggie? Gold is $4,152 an ounce today. So that puts your win a pound of gold right at about $50,000 right now. But folks, this is a fundraiser for us and for Steve Cunningham and Sensus Fidelium. You know, when I talked about this yesterday and said it's a fundraiser and that we are both nonprofits and that we both struggle to keep our media in front of you and our media delivered at the highest quality in the entire business. This is not an easy task. And we cheerfully and happily do it, but we raise funds all year long, and most people don't know that. Your average podcaster has got 500,000 followers out there. It doesn't have to do any of this. And they certainly don't have to tend to the fine art of broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like we do on the Crusade channel. So when you buy a Golden Truth ticket and a shot at winning that gold or the silver for second or the bourbon basket for third, you're not just buying and participating in a raffle. It's a movement. We stand against the Malachian satanic media, the MSM, and have been here for 35 years. So I ask you to buy a Golden Truth ticket or 100 today. And when I say 100, I'm not making that up. That's a small donation to a nonprofit for a lot of people, $5,000. That's nothing to some of the wealthier people that are listening right now. And Steve and I are going to split what is left over after the gold and everything is paid for. So I implore you, go to winnypoundofgold.com, put 100 tickets in the basket today. Start as you know what? Buy one. Buy one, and then go, and with your affiliate number, go back and then buy 99 more. And now you are the leader in the clubhouse as for the affiliate competition, the contest within a contest at winapoundofgold.com. Play digital media file number 1, please. Oh, I caught Maggie making notes over there for the transcript.
To chat, actually.
Yes.
All right.
Look, the president's been very clear. He does not withdraw from Israel. No one could withdraw from another country the right of self-defense. Israel has the right to defend itself. But fundamentally, the Israelis, just like everybody else, have to respect this peace process that is fundamentally good for them and good for the entire region. What the president gets grown frustrated sometimes is that we seem to be right on the cusp of a major breakthrough in the agreement, and then all of a sudden there's a major explosion that goes off in a civilian population center in Beirut, and a lot of people who have nothing to do with Hezbollah lose their lives. That's not acceptable. That's the sort of thing that we've asked for closer coordination so that we ensure it doesn't happen. And our message to the Israelis, just as our message to everybody else, is fundamentally, we want this peace process to be good for you. We do not want Hezbollah attacking Israel, but in order to ensure that that happens, we have got to actually build the kind of regional framework that can cut off the money to Hezbollah, cut off Iranian support for Hezbollah, and also ensure that Lebanon's territorial sovereignty is respected by all parties.
So that's the softball one. That's JD being nice. That's the okay. I'm gonna. This is the diplomatic way to say it. The next one is, all right, we're not being diplomatic anymore. You I almost dropped a adjective in there. You people need to stop.
Completion. Now, I saw the Axios report, that Netanyahu is fuming. That's not reflective of the conversations that I've had with him, but maybe he's saying something to somebody else that he's not saying to me. What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you've seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. And the second message I would give to some of those cabinet members, Bibi, to his credit, has not gone down this path, but to some of these cabinet members in Israel who are attacking the President of the United States, the other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the President of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in. Thank you all.
Dude, that is a mic drop. And then he walks off the stage. I will tell you, though, this bothers me. Before somebody can jump in one of the chat rooms and accuse me of going along with this, 2/3 of the weaponry has been made by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. I have a problem with that, JD. Why am I defending the state of Israel, as Lindsey Graham would say, when my country, my union of states, is $39 trillion in the hole? Injustice.
The Crusade Channel, your talk podcast and Fiorella File station.
Fiorella is the literary savage who skips sensitivity training. She is the librarian who reads and reviews books so you don't have to.
Hello and welcome to the Fiorella Files. On my show, I will be introducing you to books, classic and contemporary, that you must read, should enjoy reading, or should not touch with an 11-foot barge pole.
10 to 11 a.m. Central, every Monday on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on CrusadeChannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio.
The way it should be.
Hey folks, it's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Road to Independence, the movie. The Road to Independence tells the exciting story of the Founding Fathers' struggle to declare independence.
Resolved that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states. That they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is, and ought to be, totally dissolved.
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and are packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Road to Independence on DVD and CD. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723.
Mark? Ow!
You're listening to the Crusade Channel, a Black Hat Studios media property. Broadcasting live 24/7 from Madisonville, Louisiana, and to the world via CrusadeChannel.com. We don't know if there's gold in the hills of Dahlonega, Georgia, but we do know there's a pound of gold in the Mike Church Vault, and all you have to do to win it is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on The Mike Church Show at MikeChurchShow.com and on YouTube at Real KingDude. Mike Church Show News. News you can trust.
Because let's face it, the truth just sounds different, like a symphony of facts.
And now, here's Janet Huxley.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. Welcome to Thursday, June the 18th, 2026. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk, live from the ranch in Kansas City. This report is brought to you by the Golden Truth Ticket Sweepstakes. Get your Gold Fruit tickets today at winapoundofgold.com. Here's what to listen for this hour. Iran deal faces backlash from conservative allies. Elon Musk demands prison for politicians who turned a blind eye to grooming gangs. Subcontractors say they're owed millions and face financial ruin after helping build Obama Presidential Center. The View dismisses more young men turning to religion as part of manosphere, and there's a new fitness trend, and it's called plogging. President Donald Trump's proposed Iran agreement is drawing some sharp criticism from some of his strongest supporters who argue against the deal, rewarding Tehran should not happen before it has agreed to fully dismantle its nuclear program. The 14-point framework agreement unveiled yesterday establishes an immediate ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran with key provisions including the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, the removal of the U.S. naval blockade, temporary waivers allowing Iranian oil exports, access to frozen Iranian assets, and a commitment to negotiate a final agreement within 60 days. Critics say the agreement does pure hell in Moscow as Ukrainian drones strike major refinery supplying capital's fuel market. Obama knocks founders at Presidential Center debut before America's 250th. Life-threatening GLP-1 overdoses are on the rise, and just 4 minutes of key exercise can quadruple fitness in older adults. President Donald Trump signing at Versailles put the 60-day ceasefire and negotiation framework into effect, though key issues remain unresolved in the Iranian war situation. Oil prices fell as tankers began moving through the Strait of Hormuz, including Saudi crude shipments. AAA says national gas prices dipped below $4 a gallon, down sharply from a month ago, but still above last year's level. Ukraine launched one of its largest drone attacks on Moscow since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion, striking a major oil refinery in the Russian capital and sending thick black smoke over parts of the city, according to Russian officials in multiple reports. The Moscow oil refinery in the Kapontya district, one of the capital region's key fuel sites, was hit overnight on Thursday, marking the second reported strike on the site in 3 days. Videos circulating online showed large flames and black smoke rising from the facility, while Russian officials said air defenses intercepted waves of incoming drones. Kyiv says its strikes deep inside Russia are evidence that it is turning the tide of war. Former President Barack Obama said during the dedication of his presidential center in Chicago yesterday that America's founders fell terribly short of the Declaration of Independence's promise, while casting the nation's story as one of generations coming together to make the Union more perfect. The success of this experiment was never a given, Obama said in his speech, referring to the nation's founding. Of course, this is just days before we celebrate our 250th on the 4th of July. In forming our Union, the founders fell terribly short of the Declaration's promise, leaving slavery intact, allowing states to restrict the franchise to white men who owned property. But in drafting a Constitution and a Bill of Rights, they did have the foresight, the genius to provide us with a framework that allows each generation to make our Union more perfect. Obama devoted much of his speech Thursday to outlining the work he believes America still has ahead. Our quote of the day: by the effective exercise of only one virtue, a person may attain to the height of all the rest. St. Gregory Nazianzen. You're listening to The Mike Church Show in the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Membership has its privileges.
American Express was right back in the 1970s. Membership has its privileges, and no membership privilege is greater to a Red, White, and Dude Nation listener than membership in the elite membership club that is the Dude Number. Here's Lee to tell you how to get yours.
That's right, King Dude. Membership does have its privileges. And when it comes to the Dude Number, applying for membership has never been easier. Just head to mikechurch.com/dude to start the membership process. Your unique and one-of-a-kind membership and all the privileges that come with it awaits you. As a member, you'll enjoy private chat groups, VIP privileges to all Mike Church Show events, early access to new Dude-geared store items, and of course, your unique Dude Number.
Dude 1210 reporting all quiet on the Eastern Front.
This is Mike's favorite punching bag, Dude number 13.
Hi, this is Steve. My Dude number is 2112.
Dude number 2004, proud member of the Red, White, and Dude Nation reporting for duty.
Become a part of something bigger than any talk show there is and apply for your Dude Number today at mikechurch.com/dude.
Membership has its privileges.
If you'd like to know about today's Saint of the Day, check out the Saint of the Day podcast from the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. Now a look at more lifestyle headlines. With the drugs easier to get than others, overdosing on GLP-1 drugs has become a problem. Though the drugs have been around since 2005 to manage diabetes, they exploded in use after 2021, when Wegovy was approved by the FDA to treat obesity. And since then, GLP-1 use has quadrupled to as many as 1 in 8 adults taking the medications. Of course, with increased use, calls to poison centers for GLP-1 exposures also skyrocketed. In 2021, they were managing around 100 related calls a month, and it's steadily increased to around 1,000 related calls a month in 2025. Symptoms include uncontrollable vomiting, seizures, and throwing up blood. Part of the reason is that GLP-1s are easier to get than ever via telehealth, which is often a one-stop shop that bypasses an in-person doctor's visit and a trip to the pharmacy. While that makes things dramatically cheaper and faster, it also unleashes largely unregulated medication into folks looking for help with weight loss, writes the New York Post. A new study from Penn State College of Medicine found engaging in as little as 4 minutes of 4 key exercises may be enough to support overall physical function in aging folk. The human body is designed to improve very quickly, said lead author Christopher Shimana, and it's just a few repetitions of an exercise performed regularly that can lead to huge improvements. Exercise is about forward thinking. Think about what you want to be able to do and train for it. Published in PLOS One, the study examined the effects of a minimal strength training regimen on adults age 65 and older and found marked improvement in as little as 12 weeks. I'm Janet Huxley for the Mike Church Show in the Red, White, and Dude Nation, because ethics in broadcasting matters.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. When the Trump administration began, an ounce of gold cost $2,750. At the 17-month mark, with his Iran war and MAGA inflation, it's at $4,500. Now, we don't know where the $1,750 price difference went, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and that he's going to give it away on July 2nd. And even if you're a neoKHAN in MAGA clothing, you can still win it.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Reposting Laura Loomer lies forgiven. Pardons sold separately.
Pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff. Last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops.
Yes.
Water. Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why do they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
Now more of what you bought your Dude Nation Metal membership for. Hour 3 of the Mike Church Show here on a free phone Friday. You know what that means.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Do it! Friday.
It's free phone. It's free phone.
Yes, it is a free phone Friday. Yay! Now you are charged with the task of telling us what it is we shall talk about here on the program. Telephone number to take me up on this kind, benevolent, beneficent offer of the use of these radio airwaves. 844-527-8723. 844-5-Crusade. Email address same as it ever hath been. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. I am KingDude at protonmail.com. Crusader Mike Church Show Stadium open for your chat at crusadechannel.com/chat. Your home for the 2026 Win a Pound of Gold. Gold! Raffle. Get your tickets right now today at winapoundofgold.com. And don't forget the affiliate competition. I don't know why this affiliate thing is so difficult. It's just like anything else that is internet-based. You have to log in. And I know, am I the only person in the entire Red, White, and Dude Nation that has a LastPass account? I must be. So can I let everyone in on a little secret about memorizing passwords? Don't try and do it. In this age, I probably have 1,000 accounts out there. There's just no way to keep up with it. So, this is 2026. I've had LastPass since 2013, 2014, somewhere up in there. Because I used to have a notebook. Maggie, you still have a notebook. You still have a text file. I used to have a notebook I'd carry around. I'd write it in there. Okay, StreamYard or usendit.com. Username. He is the KingDude. Had password. Blah, 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 blah. So, and it had like 6 pages to go in. And it's somebody, I know what it was David Simpson said, why don't you just get LastPass? I said, what's that? And he goes, it's a password manager. It just plugs into your browser and just starts memorizing your passwords for you. And that way you don't have to try and keep up with it. I thought about it for a day, and I went, okay, I'm in. So that, I think it's a yearly thing. It's not that expensive. Whatever it is, it's worth it because it stores all your passwords in a vault. So, people have this angst, this horrible angst about dealing with the Crusade channel or MikeChurch.com or a podcast on MikeChurch.com or winApoundofgold.com. I forgot my password. I don't know my username. I don't know my affiliate ID. And I understand that you just sign up for stuff or you just log in as a guest and you just forget it because we're busy. We're all busy. So I'm telling you the way I solved the problem. Yeah, maybe we should make the 5th place prize, Maggie, a free year of LastPass. I'll buy you a year of LastPass.com so you can store your passwords for next year and you won't have to go looking for them. Next up on the J.D. Vance victory tour. There's a lot of JD out there. And by the way, Trump just tweeted this out minutes ago. I don't know why people think this is earth-shattering, but I'll play. I'm game. 38 minutes ago. We didn't meet out of desperation. Iran did. They're finished, Jimmy. Finished. We'll play out the 60 days. They get no money, not 10 cents. And no interviews either. No interviews. Low coverage on that. 4,420 hearts on that. If he's doing his own true social posting, he has to be seen. He's getting about 1/3 of the traffic he used to get. If he's getting 1/3. So, in any event, I was just browsing through the news. I was smiling. I was browsing and looking to see if there's anything that is late breaking out there. There's nothing, folks. The Israelis, he has not told the Israelis. He's not told them publicly. And I think that people's opinion that somehow that the Knesset and the Likud party and Netanyahu and Mossad and Baphomet Bagul and the boys, that they have some dirt on him. The longer this goes on, the more likely I think that is correct. Now, I'm not going to pronounce on it because I don't know. But I think that people that think this, that's very likely. Because why wouldn't you come out? It's not the Iranians' fault that the Israelis killed more Christians in South Lebanon last night. The Iranians are actually doing the right thing and honoring the compact, honoring the agreement. Go like, you already violated it, dude. Clause 1. Hezbollah, you can't bomb South Lebanon anymore. So play J.D. Vance. As he said, well, if you play number 3, then we'll skip ahead to the Rouse Douthat. The Ross Douthat one is the one, number 3, on Pope Leo.
Pope Leo's reaction to the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding. I have it. What did he say? All right, okay. Well, I'll give you the short version. Sir.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. He said.
Go ahead. After you.
I'll give you the short version. All right. He says he welcomes the agreement between the U.S. and Iran. He says it hopes it will help strengthen mutual trust security, and stability in the Middle East. And he also hopes that it's truly a solution to the war and that the war is really over. What do you say to the Pope, sir?
My response to that is praise Jesus. I'm glad that the Pope has positive things to say about our MOU. I think that the Pope is fundamentally accurate, and it's going to be good for the entire world. But we got to keep working at it to make sure that the Iranians honor the commitments that they've made.
Wait a minute, you haven't heard the best one. Wait a minute. Skip ahead to number 6. This is the soundbite of the millennia here. If you are not a fake Christian Zionist.
Yeah, you've seen people in their system, Ben Gvir and Smotrich, who've attacked the deal. And I guess my response to them would be, what is your exact proposal? And, you're a country of 9 million people. You can't just kill your way out of solving every single national security problem that you have. Look at what...
You can't bomb your way out. You can't kill your way out of solving every national security problem that you have. I don't know if you heard the Mandy Patinkin from earlier that I played with the actor saying that Jews writ large now are being hated all over the world because of the actions of the government of Israel, as Lindsey Graham would say. And as Ted Cruz would say, Israel has the right to defend it. No one ever said Israel did not have the right. I don't even know where does that come from? I want to know who ever said that Israel doesn't have the right of self-defense. No question I know of would have said that, because every human being has a right to defend yourself. Number 7. Well, JD, can you tell us what you do as vice president? What is it that the president has actually tasked you with?
Anonymously sourced are always missing important context. And my job as vice president of the United States, I have to do sort of actually 2 things that are pretty simple and straightforward, but are complicated in the application. Number 1 is I have to offer my opinions to the President of the United States. I'm the only person in the cabinet who can't be fired. So I have to tell the President of the United States what I think.
That is actually a really interesting constitutional point that I just wanted to take note of.
I have to tell the President of the United States what I think about all matters. I have to provide him the best counsel. I have to make sure that he's getting the best information. The President, is surrounded all the time by a million different things. And part of my job is to make sure that he's provided good counsel, both by me and others.
So that is a profundity, as El Rushbo used to say, because, and I have said this, what's Trump going to do? He can't fire him. If you go in and go like, yeah, that's a stupid idea. You shouldn't be bombing, bomb Iran like John McCain used to do it. That's a dumb idea. Who told you to do that? Mr. President, I respect you, and I want our administration to be the greatest one in American history, and this is not going to make it the greatest one in American history. So who told you to do this? It's a stupid idea. You're fired. Get out, JD. You're fired. F-I-R-E-D. Fired. Okay? What do you think, Scott? You think I should fire him? You can't fire the vice president. Now, you could ask him to resign, like Spiro Agnew did. Could do that. Like Nixon asked Agnew to resign. But you know why they got rid of Agnew? If you want to talk conspiracy for just a moment, and we've talked a lot of conspiracy this week, why'd they get rid of Agnew? Because they knew if something happened to Nixon, that Agnew was more like Barry Goldwater than Richard Nixon ever could have been, or ever wanted to be. And if Agnew replaced Nixon, then the leftards and the ascendant warmongers at the time that were keeping the Vietnam War going, that Agnew would get in there and go, it's over, pulling the plug. So they had to get rid of Agnew, and they had to put their yes man in there, Gerald Ford. And that's exactly what they did. Look it up. what did they allege that Spiro Agnew actually did? Some stupid had something to do with tax evasion. But that's how they got rid of him. And but I don't think that's going to work with J.D. Vance. Now, on the same subject, because today is the wrath of the neoKHAN. Played a montage of all the people hating on the deal. Now, look, I'm one of the people that, and I told you this, when Trump does something right, I will give him credit, and I will defend it and basically back him up. I got your back, Mr. President. Unfortunately for all of us, those times in the last 4 months have been few and far in between. This is one of them. Read that deal that they struck with the Iranians. That's the Iranian demands. That's not ours. That's Iran's demands. And for Trump to actually go like, now sign it, this one's come to an end. Just sign the deal, will you? Let's do this. So what is the alternative? It is the never-ending, it's the forever war. Remember the Chris Pratt movie, Tomorrow War, where 200 years in the future, whatever, we're fighting these aliens that and they kill off almost all the population of Earth, kill almost all of us off. And their way out of it is to invent a time machine, to go back into time and to go stop the aliens from ever being created. You can't go back in time and stop what you did with the Iran war and stop it from ever having been created. But you can stop it from going forward. And J.D. Vance can't make you do it. You know what? If Mark Levin and his buddy Ted Cruz and Roger Marshall and Tom Cotton and all the rest of them, if you think the war's such a great idea, well, then why don't you declare it? You know, I keep forgetting to make this point. This is a profound point on my part. Why you got to get Trump to do it? You have the power. Mike Johnson, stop squawking about it. Can you get 219 votes in the House of Representatives to pass a war power or a declaration of war against the sovereign country of Iran? Because that's what you ought to do instead of squealing about it like a little schoolgirl. And then send it over to your neoKHAN fake Christian Zionist over in the Senate and see, we're not going to have to filibuster in this one. All we need is 50 votes plus J.D. Vance to break the tie. If U.S. senators and members of the House of Representatives are so desperate for this, then declare. You see, they don't want their names attached to it. They don't want their future and their children's future attached to the declaration of war, which then commits the United States and our entire army and nation then to have to wage it. Do you see that? You see what a difference it is? If you just go out there, it's self-defense. We had to do it under the War Powers Resolution. We had to do it. You're so brave. You're so ginned and fired up. You want a war with Iran? Declare it. You have the power to do it. And you know what? Trump can't veto it. So play number 9, the montage.
Giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is not a good idea. I think the president, unfortunately, is receiving bad advice on this deal.
I was just going to ask you about the Iran deal, what you think about it.
With this whole nuclear deal now, no better than what we had back in 2015, back when Barack Obama cut the deal. And that's where Donald Trump winds us up after all of this. What an embarrassment.
We went to war for what? The idea of doing something in the Straits of Hormuz. The Straits were being used peacefully before our invasion, and now we have to negotiate they'll be used peacefully in the future.
It's going to get access to its frozen assets, and what is Iran giving up for this? Nothing.
Nothing. They're merely reaffirming what they've said before about nuclear weapons.
Well, all I've seen is public reporting about it, but the public reporting to me suggests we're giving up an awful lot more to get a lot less than the JCPOA.
Donald Trump couldn't explain why he got into this war. Remember, it was going to be about regime change.
What is this regime change? What are you talking about?
How to get out of it.
Okay, let me just chime in on this. I had to do a little research on this last night. I was up late. Actually doing Mortal Kombat with the AI censors over at Pride Book. I'll tell you about that next segment. Where's the $300 billion coming from? Well, they say it's not coming from the American people. The American people aren't going to have to foot this bill. That's a lie. Well, that's partially true. So what it is $300 billion that the United States has been sanctioning away from the Iranian people and has been stuffing it into banks across the world. That is the official company line. All they're going to do is slowly release sanctioned funds, basically, from the sale of oil, if I understand it correctly. So it is actually the people of Iran's money is what's going to be released. I thought you'd just want to know.
This June, the Mike Church Show will give away the most incredible prize in broadcast history and change the way the world thinks about talk media and talk media hosts forever.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk with your crucials for Thursday, June the 18th, 2026. Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk with your crucials for Friday, June 19th, 2026. This report is brought to you by the Golden Truth Ticket Sweepstakes. Get your Gold Fruit tickets today at winapoundofgold.com. In the market report, the Dow was up 0.14% and the S&P 1.08. NASDAQ was up as well, 1.91%. Today is Freedom Day, or Juneteenth. The story of Juneteenth begins in Texas when Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston on June 19th of 1865 with an announcement that slavery had ended. As the community listened to the reading of the General Orders Number 3, the people of Galveston learned for the first time the Civil War was over, and after more than a century of slavery and years of war, it was official. All slaves were now freed men. Today is also National Garfield the Cat Day, and it's Free BSD Day, and that commemorates the launch day of an innovative technology that many of us use every day. It's the open source operating system developed out of the University of California at Berkeley in 1993 called Free BSD. Billions of people around the globe use it. It's also National Watch Day and Wear Blue Day. Today, just before Father's Day, by wearing blue, you're saying you support the men in your life to lead a healthy lifestyle and you care about their well-being. Our quote of the day: by the effective exercise of only one virtue, a person may attain to the height of all the rest. Saint Gregory Nazianzen. You can learn about today's saint in the Saint of the Day podcast, From the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters, by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. You're listening to the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Hi, folks. It's Mike Church, founder of Founding Father Films, asking you to learn the true stories of America's founding by purchasing my movie, The Spirit of 76. The Spirit of 76 details the true story of the writing and ratifying of the U.S. Constitution.
Who authorized them to speak the language of we, the people, instead of we, the states? States are the characteristics and the soul of a confederation. If the states be not the agents of this compact, it must be one great...
This animated movie comes complete with collector's booklets, DTS surround sound, and is packed with hours of bonus features. Learn the true stories of America's founding and order Mike Church's The Spirit of 76 on a 2-DVD or 3-CD set. Available now at mikechurch.com/DVD and by calling 844-527-8723. This is a pixel. I'm Groot. Now, if you put a couple of million of these guys together, you can make a sentence on an LED screen. Put a couple of billion billion of them together, and you can make a whole page. Put 360 billion of them, and you got Chesterton's book, Orthodoxy. But it doesn't smell like a book, and it burns teeny little holes in your cornea. So is the pixel really your friend?
I'm Groot.
No, but the Founders Trading Post is your friend, and we have actual books with actual smelly pages. Plus, our little bookstore has everything you'd expect.
I'm Groot.
Yes, Groot, to the gourmet coffee, but no to the One Tree Hill sappy guitar music.
Pick up a copy of G.K. Chesterton's Orthodoxy, plus many other Chesterton titles at shop.mikechurch.com.
I think I'll go to sleep and dream about piles of gold getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Here's a piles and piles of gold fun fact. The first gold rush wasn't in California or in Alaska. It was in Dahlonega, Georgia in 1829 and lasted until the last gold mine closed around 1910. Now, some people say that there's still gold in them there Georgia hills. We don't know about that, but we do know that Mike Church has 1 troy pound of gold in his safe, and he's going to give it away to one of you on July 2nd.
Win Mike Church's Pound of Gold. Tickets on sale now exclusively at winapoundofgold.com. Vacation sold separately.
Hey, Mrs. McGillicuddy, don't be a satellite radio snob and pass by the Mike Church Show. Come on in and browse.
May I help you?
Oh, no thanks, just browsing.
How long do you intend to browse?
Well, that lady there, you didn't ask her how long she intends to browse. How come you're asking us how long we intend to browse?
You don't look like browsers.
Now that that's over,
How about a Fresca?
the Mike Church Show, entertaining browsers and fans since 1992 on the Veritas Radio Networks. Crusade.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
I still owe somebody $5 for buying a coffee and saying he wanted a Bee Gees medley, so I'm going to give you one song. Just one.
Juliet, oh Juliet, this kind of love you don't
What was it you were telling me, Maggie, that Robin Gibb toured? Was it Kim Carnes or Bonnie Tyler?
First of all, I wouldn't be telling you anything.
No, because you looked it up, because we were asking whether or not that song we were listening to was Kim Carnes or was it Bonnie Tyler. It was Bonnie Tyler. That song, Julia, that was in the late 80s, and I'm almost certain that he toured with Bonnie Tyler. And what was Bonnie Tyler's song? You said she played for the Pope. I want to say. In any event, welcome back. It's our final segment of the day, of the week, at win8poundofgold.com. Look, folks, today's Friday is traditionally when a lot of people get paid. I'm serious, y'all. Please support the Crusade channel, the Mike Church Show, Census Fidelium, and the Crusade Radio Guild, and go buy some Golden Truth tickets this weekend for your chance to win gold. Become an affiliate, and then send your link out to everyone you know this weekend. Instead of sending the silly things out that you send on social media, send a friend a chance to win $51,000 in gold. Or silver. Like this pound of silver right here if your ticket is drawn second. So win8poundofgold.com. And if you have questions about the affiliate program, it's not difficult. Just click that affiliate tab. And if you're logged in, the first thing you'll see is your unique URL. There's even there's a little icon there. It looks like two sheets of paper stacked one on top of the other. Click it. That copies the URL, then go on Facebook or wherever and paste it, and then Command V or Control V, and bammo. That's your link. Now you are an affiliate. Say, hey, I'm in a raffle to win a pound of gold, and I'm also in a contest to win the grand prize for being the best-selling affiliate. Who's number one right now? Do we know? I haven't even checked this today. Who's in first place in affiliate sales? It was me. Let's see. I don't even have it open.
It's refreshing. Hold, please.
Yeah, mine's refreshing too. Well, there it goes. You got to scroll all the way down to the bottom.
You're the top two. How are you the top two?
So no one is even. I'm number one and number two. Well, that's because I have a pair of links, and apparently when Melissa sends emails out, those are my links. Those are still pathetic earnings. That's just, folks, if you want the Crusade channel to go out of business, then keep not buying Golden Truth tickets in our annual fundraiser, and you will most certainly accomplish that on July the 3rd. We will not be here in this capacity on July the 3rd. But if, on the other hand, you want to donate to the nonprofit, and, of course, Census Fidelium is in on this with Steve Cunningham as well. Then you go to winapoundofgold.com. I don't know who Bart S. is, but he's duking it out with Steve C. That's Steve Cunningham. So Steve's not doing much better. And then Stellar Lend is in fourth. So $20 in earnings, that's 4 tickets. So $40 is 8. So all the emails that I've sent out, I've sold 8 stinking tickets to win $50,000. And people wonder, how is this even possible? So you have a 1 in 400 chance now of winning $50,000 in gold. Wow. All right, I can't make people do it. All I can do is promote it and then say Hail Marys and Memoraries and pray that people come around. Winapoundofgold.com. Why? What else do we have to do here today? Why? Tulsi Gabbard said something about Fauci and that she is releasing never-before-seen communications and documents about how Fauci provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab. We already knew this. Rand Paul is conclusively, I think, in Senate hearings, has already proven this. The only question that remains is when does he get indicted? And if you know anything about what Fauci was doing back in the 1990s, this guy's been a monster ever since he crawled inside the death chamber or the death center that is the National Institutes of Unhealth. Go look it up. Go look up Fauci AZT. As a matter of fact, you can read RFK Jr.'s book, The Real Anthony Fauci, and read all about it. I wanted to do this, though, because I had not seen this. And that's also Rand Paul says that Fauci's two top U.S. senators are urging the Trump Injustice Department to challenge the legality of President Joe Biden's pardon of Dr. Anthony Fauci that he did preemptively. I think we should challenge the pardon because it's an extraordinary pardon. It's a pardon not for a specific crime, and it's a pardon over a 10-year period. It's the same thing that he got, the same thing that Hunter Biden got. Well, guess what? Trump pardoned all of his family, too. So you can't just sit out there and go like, we need to go after Hunter Biden and Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden was getting chump change at $80,000 a month. The Trump boys are knocking down $1.5 million a week. It's probably more than that now. So I wanted to mention that. Then there is this. Where was I at? This is crisismagazine.com has this story. Now I got to find it. The aching heart of a father. The masterpiece of love is Christ poured out fully upon the cross. For Catholic fathers, the image carries particular force. Each is aware that his children awaken each morning into an expanding Babylon. Oh, boy. Hi, children. Good morning. Hey, let's go look out the window. Oh, look. The sun is shining in Babylon today. And this is written by Kevin Wells. And he starts off by saying, it was raining in Tupelo when I pulled the car into a gravel lot beside Elvis Presley's childhood home. It was 2018. I stepped inside, paid the fee, and my daughter Gabby and I began to wander through the shotgun house. There wasn't much to see in the two-room home, and it was easy to tell that Gabby really wanted to get back on the road. My detour idea was simply another way of slowing down the stretch of U.S. Highway 78 that would lead my daughter to her new life in Oxford, Mississippi. So we was dropping her off at Ole Miss. On our way out, I leaned over and an area marked restricted area, stretched out my arm as far as I could, and lifted Vernon Presley's bowler hat hanging from a nail on the wall. I popped it on my head and began to sing Hound Dog. The fee collectors up front were displeased that the museum artifact had come to life atop a visitor's head, but Gabby's reaction was worth it when mortification dissolved into laughter. It marked the last real memory that we'd share on our journey to Ole Miss, joining the still discussed memory of the pact that we took for Waffle House-only meals throughout the trip south. Last weekend, Gabriella Maria Wells married Nathan Michael Stevens, a young man who to me feels like a still undeserved answer to a father's endless pleas to God to send a St. Joseph-like figure to his daughter. The morning after the wedding, following a night of long celebration, I boarded a plane for Memphis with my 18-year-old daughter, Shannon. Like her sister, she had fallen in love with the beauty and charm of Oxford while visiting Gabby. This is a story about a dad who is with Father's Day this weekend. That's why we're talking about this. I've spent time reflecting on all the forward movement and the fact that my breath keeps catching in my throat. Mostly, I think that is happening for two reasons. The first is natural. I am a dad who loves his children and has always wanted them close. Their presence has been one of my greatest joys, so seeing them step into lives that no longer revolve around our home has upended my internal apple cart. The second reason, however, is the one that matters. As Shannon and I made our way down the same red dirt roads between Memphis and Oxford that Gabby and I once traveled, And after the country music had lost its power to entertain, thoughts rose in me like a last sunrise. These 3 days on the road would mark the last time Shannon and I would ever be this close again. And then he said after he dropped her off, I realized that my time was up. Your time has expired. And then he began thinking about whether or not he had been a good father for his daughter, Shannon, and the things that all dads think about. You know, God made it like this so that dads and moms are completely different people, personalities, and universes. They're just not the same. And I think that the great crime of the last 60 years has been to convince a majority of the population that they're not different and that they're the same and they're interchangeable and that one can do what the other one can and the other one can do what the other one can. That's just not true. I can't do what their mother can do. Maggie can't do what I can do. All of you that are dads can't do what your wives can do. All of you that are wives can't do what your husbands can do. And it is something that is just, I don't know why this is an enigma. It shouldn't be an enigma. There's nothing more natural than parenting. You know, back when I was popular and people listened to this show, clicked like buttons and bought tickets to win cars and stuff and sent me emails, right, you know, just basically acknowledged our existence. I used to say that if you want me to, I'll come to your parish or your group, and I will give a talk called Civilization in 6 Words. You remember that, Maggie? Remember back in the day when we were popular, people liked us? Civilization in 6 words. No one's ever taken me up on this offer, ever. And I don't cost 30 grand like some of your Catholic influencer, podcaster heroes do. You'd be surprised at what I would travel to your place to give that talk on civilization in 6 words. But what are the 6 words? And this is where we get the jumping off place. The 6 words are honor your father and your mother. Now, I know you don't have to send me a piece of hate mail or jump in the chat room and say, that's not how it's worded in my Bible. I know that. I'm aware that there's a 5-word version. Honor thy father and thy mother, or honor thy father and mother. It's the most, I think, powerful of all the 10 commandments. Think about what's contained in honor thy father and mother, or honor thy father and thy mother. Well, there are preconditions to the commandment being carried out, aren't there? To honor your father and your mother, you have to be alive as a child. To honor your father and your mother, that then requires a father and a mother. To honor them then requires a sense or a upbringing that is righteous. So you have to have some righteousness baked in to honor them and to not say, well, no, I'm playing Nintendo till 11 o'clock tonight, Dad. There's nothing you can do about it as a 10-year-old. Requires also humility. You have to be humble to honor your father and your mother. Also acknowledges that there is a structure that God intended us humans to live under, a societal structure, if you will. It's him, father, mother, child. This little funnel here makes a family. This up here makes everything. So civilization in 6 words. It literally is the recipe for human flourishing. The first 3 commandments are all about what you must do to give to God. The first commandment that comes out after that is honor thy father and thy mother. And then don't kill people. And then don't steal what's theirs. And don't lie about them. So you're given this code of conduct. But the code of conduct is given after the heavenly command to honor thy father and mother, which goes right along with now go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. How do we screw this up? This is Old Testament 5,800-year-old stuff here. How did we mess it up? And we certainly have cocked it up. So, this Father's Day weekend, or this Father's Day when you honor your father, and note that Moses got it from God in the correct order. Honor thy father and mother, not honor thy mother and father. There's an order there. It's not accident. There are no coincidences in Holy Scripture. I don't believe in them. Neither should you. It's put in that order intentionally. So, as Father's Day comes this weekend, think about that. And think about how God loves you so much that he handed you, your ancestors, our ancestors, a perfect code of conduct. And then he sealed it with a new covenant by sending his only begotten Son to carry out the prophecies from that old covenant into the new one. That's some powerful stuff. Why do we call our priests father and not, hey, chap, or hey, chum, hey, bub, hey, pal? You don't walk up to Father Garrett O'Brien and go, hey, pal. You say, hey, Father. Why did, in the early days of Christianity and Catholicism, why did the term father? Because, again, it is an acknowledgement of a hierarchical order in Christ's church. Which is why when someone says, well, I went to my pastor, well, I'm sure that you did, and I hope that he gave you some nice cold raw milk. But he's not acting as father, because he's not acting in the steed in persona Christi. By the way, gentlemen, you act in persona Christi in some ways in your house when you mete out the divine law and say, no, you can't do that because it's a sin, and with the atonement for a sin comes an act of justice. I'll say one final thing about this. You guys are lucky that have your children around you and that don't have empty nests. You know, your children that live down the street or even in the same city. You're fortunate. You should really, really, really think about that and give thanks, because there are many, many of us that do not have that and have children that are spread across hither and yon and all of creation across the continent. It's a very, very self-defeating, lonely thing, I think. And I think that you should spend, and I should spend the rest of my days trying to correct it for the next generation. And the only way you can do that is to lead by example, and then to say things. And talk about what Kevin Wells has written here, The Aching Heart of a Father. He concludes, let's get to the conclusion. As bishops have pivoted to enter more deeply into what is often called a synodal church, by the way, completely and totally ridiculous if you ask me, Catholic fathers who marry off a daughter and send another to college will be left alone, as the church has abandoned its prophetic voice and too often has steered to a more accommodating and congenial approach with the world rather than confronting it. Catholic fathers simply must pull back on comforts. Pick your poison. Tailgates, card games, golf outings, nights with the boys in the bar, it all must go. Or at least the lion's share must be forfeited, Why do I urge this? Because the lump in my throat tells me to. So read that at crisismagazine.com. I tell you, another one at Crisis Magazine is by Eric Sammons yesterday. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write Eric, and I read some of it to you. It is extra eclairs on your Nutella salad. Extra eclairs on my Nutella salad. It's extra ecclesiam nulla salus. And Eric Sammons says, why is this controversial? It wasn't until 70 years ago. Every Catholic alive and that ever lived knew extra ecclesiam nulla salus. No, they didn't have it. They didn't memorize the Latin phrase. They just knew it. They knew that outside the church, capital C, church, there is no salvation. I'm going to write to Eric because he mentions Father Feeney, Father Leonard Feeney in this. And, of course, our beloved brothers and sisters of the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart in Richmond, New Hampshire, and Brother Andre and Marie and the sisters, and the brothers and the sisters. Remind me to delete forevermore that infernal soundbite so it can never interrupt me again. He mentions, let me see. He's talking about George Weigel. Don't take any Catholic advice from George Weigel, by the way. Weigel seeks to undermine extra ecclesiam nulla salus by equating any robust acceptance of it with the views of Father Feeney. Weigel is correct that Father Feeney's absolutist view of salvation, that only a water-baptized Catholic could be saved, was rejected by the Vatican. You know, I'm going to ask Brother Andre Marie to actually write to you, Eric Sammons, and to correct you on that, because I don't believe that that is correct. I think you're wrong. And I don't think that the slaves to the Immaculate Heart would still be practicing it. You know, it's a huge controversy. Baptism of desire versus baptism by water. And look, I understand it. I get it. I totally understand why people say, oh, it's baptism by desire. You're giving a hypothetical. The Catholic Church must always teach in absolutes. She just did nothing more than dogmas, doctrines, and absolutes. From there, you can have exceptions. But that's not for me to make. That's above my pay grade. From there can be exceptions. But you have to teach the absolute. You have to teach the doctrine and the dogma. And then finally, to round out this thrill-packed weekend, or this thrill-packed week in the Ethics and Broadcasting Network, Maggie, did you know that there is now a soft-serve ice cream flavor that you can get in Manhattan that is called cereal milk?
Disgusting.
You know, as soon as I read this, I went, oh, wait a minute, I remember. When you and I were little children, and they used to put 100% Louisiana grown, probably Louisiana grown, cane sugar in your box of Captain Crunch. And your Captain Crunch with blueberries or blueberries. Crunch berries. With crunch berries. How many of you, raise your hands out there, how many of you poured your cereal, put the milk in there, and then waited 5 minutes?
Nope.
Pick me, minute charge, pick me, oh, pick me.
Weirdo.
Well, no, I wanted my cereal milk. So you'd wait 5 minutes because then they say that the ceasefire has been renewed twixt Hezbollah and Israel. Is a headline right now on CNN. You wanted your cereal milk. So you wanted the Crunch Berry and the Captain Crunch to get a little soft, and then for the sugar to start rubbing off and getting in the milk. That's cereal milk. So then you'd gobble down the Captain Crunch, and then you wouldn't take any milk in the spoon. You'd actually strain the milk out of each bite. And then when it was done, you go, take the bowl, tip it up and drink the cereal milk. So I completely understand the cereal milk. But I was reading about the cereal milk in this article, Against Toddlecore or Toddlercore. Gen Z is infantilizing itself. was written by a woman named Geisha Marie Bland at unheard.com. New Yorkers have always waited in line for culture-defining memories and trinkets, admissions to nightclubs, fashion, scores from sample sales, Sex and the City cupcakes, or an I voted sticker for the hashtag resistance. But the new lines lengthening and proliferating across the Big Apple are confoundingly lackluster due to both the fashion of the people waiting in them and to the grotesque sugar bomb goodies Gen Z is desperate to score. Now, there is I'm going to just pause. There is a most famous line that New Yorkers waited in a TV sitcom. Can anybody figure out what I'm thinking? No, you talking? No soup for you. Back to the line. Back in the back of the line. The soup Nazi from Seinfeld, remember? This is when you used to actually be able to use the term Nazi, and it just meant somebody yelling at you. It didn't mean that you were an actual German National Socialist. The mostly women queuing obedient around Manhattan for cult hits like Soft Swerve, I never heard of, and Hey T, are displaying sartorial choices as sweet, shapeless, frothy, and generic as the products they're waiting to consume. Soft Swerve, for the uninitiated, I didn't know this, is a New York-based chain serving kitty-colored soft serve ice cream in Asian flavors. What is an Asian flavor? You mean like curry? Topped with whimsical, nostalgic items such as mochi or Fruity Pebbles. They still have that?
Fruity Pebbles?
Fruity Pebbles?
Of course.
Boy, you talk about making some good cereal milk. Hey Tea is a blended tea drink chain launched in China that brands itself as distinctive by using real fruits and juices instead of powders. Christina Tossi, wherever that is, deserve credit. And while millennial restaurateur David Chang and his pastry chef Christina Tossi deserve credit for the soft serve revival in the aughts, their cereal milk, that's where I got the cereal milk flavor, tapped into millennial nostalgia for adult-free Saturday mornings binging cartoons. Is that what millennials are doing now? Gen Zers are Saturday morning cartoon binging? You know, I did this when I was like 10. At least Team Chang did so with a healthy dose of kitsch and camp to add some acid. Gen Z goes the same route with earnest sensitivity. The trend, it seems, is self-infantilization. Now, can I ask the question how a Gen Zer plans to take over and rule the world? How are you going to do that? In your pajamas. You know, it never fails. You can't go out anywhere without running into these young women who are out shopping or doing whatever in their pajamas, including their PJ slippers. Now, it's all fine and dandy to wear them around the house, but to be milling about the Piggly Wiggly in the cereal milk aisle, not so much. Then she says the West Village girl uniform on display in these lines is amorphous, unisex, and pre-sexual. White tank top and figure obscuring light blue baggy denim. Which sounds hideous. Each young woman wears exactly the same thing as her friends and as everyone around her. This look's stylistic predecessor, mom jeans, you remember those? Wasn't very sexy, but it was more grown-up, accommodating a postpartum midsection and tapering down the leg and a last-ditch nod to the feminine silhouette. The new West Village Cozy Chic Barrel Cut, or Chic Barrel Cut, is so voluminous and unstructured below the knee, it resembles a pair of surplus store jogging pants. The Zoomer mood board deserves the label self-infantilization chic or toddler core. The generation is defined by historically high sugar consumption. Well, aren't they treating this now with Ozempic? And thinking that, oh, no, I could just consume 150 grams of sugar a day. I'll just take a GLP, right? The choice of lifestyle over fashion, aversion to sex and vice, diligent consumption of media. You know, the one thing they do consume is media, just not mine. And dutiful consumerism. At the center of the board should sit a single analog hack many Zoomers have probably never heard of, the sugar tit. The sugar tit was a staple in the South for poorer families, especially during the Great Depression. And it is essentially it's a makeshift pacifier. To make one, mothers whipped soft and buttered and sugar into a creamy emulsion and then wrapped it in a cheesecloth for babies to suck on as they explored the world, wearing a flour sack fashioned to a onesie. Thus, ensconced in a cocoon and suckling on mommy's teat, they can enjoy a carefree existence while mainlining sweet cream. Ejection from this paradise is the existential gripe of the character Rue, the lead in HBO's Gen Z-defining TV series Euphoria. I have to tell you, I'm going to stop right there. Anyone that has ever seen a trailer for this show has to think that our beloved Shannon Sutlish used to put the sweet meteor of death into the chat room. If you ever see a trailer for this show, Euphoria, you'll stop what you're doing. You'll go into a private place. You'll dim the lights. You'll get your rosary out. You get on your knees, and you'll say, "Please God, send the comet, send the sweet meteor of death, and just end it all." I don't even know how to describe that show. Now, I never watched it intentionally. I've stumbled on it a time or two, and I've seen the trailers because sometimes they blast them on Paramount Plus, and you can't avoid it unless you just mute it. This is what this generation is comprised of, is a bunch of sugar-addicted. I want to say the boys are eunuchs. What would that make the girls? What's a female version of a eunuch? What's a female version of a Nick Fuentes listener? An incel soy boy.
Chicks on Euphoria are hoes.
Well, they are absolute hoes. So this will bring me to another show quickly. If you want to see and be embarrassed by your current state of sartorial affair and choice, watch a couple episodes of Mad Men, a show with John Hamm, which is about an advertising agency in the mid-1960s, in the roaring 60 heyday, before the hippies took over and ruined everything. And look at the choice of clothes. You know, well, first of all, the first thing you notice about the TV show Mad Men is that everyone smokes cigarettes. I mean, like all day long. They're going like 2-3 packs a day, easily. That's one. Second thing you learn, apparently every man that worked in a corporate in a corporate environment started drinking whiskey, bourbon, and vodka at 9 a.m. Nobody was hanging around in the coffee break room because they didn't drink coffee. They drank bourbon. They start meetings off, boardroom meetings in Mad Men, with a decanter of bourbon and vodka in the center of the table, and everyone, as they walk in to go sit down at the meeting to hear the latest ad pitch, pours themselves a drink. Hey, and ice apparently was for sissies, because none of them use ice. But it is the choice of the clothes that is the most, and other, as I say, the sartorial choices, that is the most impressive thing that you will see. And it just has to make you wonder, I think, for literally the entirety of the recorded history of Christianity, as much as we can divine and fill the blanks in from artwork, up until about 40 years ago, the Christian man and the Christian woman spent a lot of time, effort, and a significant portion of their money, of their funding, into what they wore, because they thought that it mattered. Then something snapped 45, 50 years ago or so, where we became convinced, increasingly, higher numbers and higher numbers and higher numbers, became convinced that what you wear matters not. Doesn't matter to anyone, certainly you. Doesn't matter to the dignity of anyone that's got to see you in this pathetic state of undress, because it's not a state of dress, it's a pathetic state of undress. And you think about it, even in the goofy paintings where you see, like from Shakespeare, where they have this ribbed collar that they wore around. Why do they wear the ribbed collar around their neck? Anybody ever ask that question? Because they thought it was fancy. That was lace. They called it a lace collar, literally. And they wore it because, if you wore the laced collar, well, that signified you were a little higher than the guy that didn't have a laced collar. Headwear was important, whether it was a beret, whether it was a fedora, whether it was a Stetson or a cowboy hat, or any other kind, or a lady's hat. Headwear was important. And yeah, some of them are weird and strange and goofy. When you look at the paintings, you're like, oh my Lord, did you actually wear that? But they put time and effort into it. Today, it's put the pajamas on, even if some people don't even get to that. Put the pajamas and the furry slippers on, and let's go catch the next flight to Orlando. There's something that's really strange and weird about that. So I have been imploring ladies, and it has gone to no effect. It has affected almost no one. To take your husband's state of dress seriously, and to shop, for example, in the Mike Church haberdashery store, to pick yourself up a proselyte or 10, to grab yourself a parquet, purple and fleur-de-lis gold necktie, as I wore on yesterday's program. It doesn't matter a hill of beans. Not a soul is paying attention to me or to my exhortations. Oh, I mean, there's, okay, the RST own any shoppers in the Founders Trading Post, but no one else. Why is that? And it can't be because all of the men out there that are married to the women that are listening have closets filled with ties. So I have come to the conclusion that is because they don't wear ties anymore, and they certainly wouldn't be caught dead in one that had some sissy like St. Francis of Assisi on it. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're missing out. And that despite your refusal to up your sartorial game and to continue making fun of me on the Census Fidelium chat room about what I'd wear into the show every day, I'm not going to stop. As a matter of fact, I might even up my game a little bit and add some new twists and nuances, because I think that what you wear, your sartorial choices matter. And I think that if you put time into thinking about the dignity of others' eyes and how they see you and they meet you for the first time, that maybe that first meeting will go off just a little bit differently. Maybe, maybe not. So, ladies, gentlemen, have a wonderful and safe and blessed happy Father's Day this weekend. You can still shop in a store. I mean, we'll be happy to ship it to you. You won't get it for Father's Day, but you could dress him up next week at shop.mikechurch.com. We have not played the secret soundbite of the day, so you can still win a Golden Truth ticket. What? Oh. Yeah, this, and we have also been fighting, just, you're going to have to unplug it in the back and plug it back in for me. We have also been fighting Electronics all week. I've been fighting. I spent 9 hours.
Which one?
The one that's connected to the converter.
To this?
To the converter. The one that looked. Just unplug them all and plug them back in. There we go. A never-ending cacophony of war. There it is. You got it. Against Pride Book this week. So, a safe and blessed remainder of the day. Who is the saint today? It's been a long time since that. St. Julia Falconieri. Or Falconieri. Pray for us. God bless you and Merry keep. Happy Father's Day weekend.